It's your host, Audrey here, and want to start out by shouting out our certified Sam Stans on our certified Sam Stan tier on Patreon. Say that 5 times fast. That was a lot. We're so grateful to you guys who are on that tier because it's our highest tier. So we want to say thank you directly. So thank you, Kuda, Killabees, Templeton, and Elizabeth. We love you. Thanks for your support. And if you're not on Patreon, come check us out. There's a lot of fun extra stuff for you guys every month and every week. And to every one of you who has come back to join us for our 3rd season, welcome back. We love you. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I have an order coming for food. I ordered Shug's Bagels because I'm so hungry.
Oh my god, I almost considered doing that. I ended up just buying some sushi at the train station,
nice.
on my way home. But I did think about ordering takeaway, and then I thought, I don't know that I want to do that in the middle of the podcast, but I could have done.
No, you could have now because, as I mentioned on like every episode since I upgraded my Zoom, we can just pause and keep the recording going. True. So when I have to run down in like possibly 30 minutes, I'm just going to pause it and come right back. We can leave this window open as long as we want.
That's awesome.
I'm very excited. So excited. I'm so excited. Okay, so we are on episode 4 of season 3 of the podcast. We got Vic here. It's just the 2 of us today. We're having a really like classic version of the podcast. And we're dealing with Red Sky Morning and Fresh Blood. So we've got 2 kind of like, I don't know if they're heavy hitters, but they feel like heavy hitters.
They do.
Like, I'm excited to talk about them.
What do you have to contribute to this?
There's a cat. Oh, I was looking like at my document. I came back and there was a cat instead of Vic. Hi, Kitty.
Sorry, I'm always trying to get her to join the podcast.
She's so cute.
Please continue.
We'll have to put her in the visuals. She's very cute. I love her. She has like a resting, like quizzical face. Like she's always kind of side-eyeing you. Which I respect. I love cats because you have to like earn their respect. They don't just love you, which is probably something like that I need to unpack in therapy. But
I think there's certain kinds of like soppy boy cat that do. Like Loki, I think like he saw me for the first 5 seconds of knowing me and was like, hello, you're mine now.
You're my mommy.
Freya, you definitely had to earn her love.
Yeah, Rocky also always talks about her girl cat. So she has like a full black cat, and then she has like a gray like tabby cat, and they are very moody too. But like Chrissy will talk about her boy cats, and they're like dipshits in a loving, like affectionate way.
yeah. Not to do gender essentialism on this podcast, but you know.
Yeah.
Because boy cats do tend to be a little bit.
Never know. Yeah, I love a cat. My boyfriend, well, my fiance now, he is allergic to cats, so we can't have a cat. Even though we probably end up being cat people because we're never around, and they're very independent, so it would be easier to have one like a dog. But all that to say, do you want to talk about Supernatural?
We probably should. This is the danger of having the like unlimited Zoom. We could just like shoot the shit forever.
I'm like, well, we don't have to go quickly. We could just talk forever. Okay. Well, let's summarize. I'm going to summarize Red Sky Morning, and then we can talk about it. So I looked it up, and IMDb said it was written by Lawrence Andrews, Carver, and Kripke.
Yes. I was going to say okay. So I think
it was also directed by Cliff Bull too.
Yes, I think there's a thing in season 3 where they're like, it depends which website you look on as to who gets the writing credit. I think it's just credited to the Lawrence guy on the episode. So I think it's probably one of those things where it's like someone did some story edits or something. You know what? You know, like where it gets complicated in writers' rooms where someone did something and so they get a credit. But yeah, it's his only episode that he wrote, and it's also the only episode that Cliff Bowl guy directed of Supernatural. Although he also directed like all 3 series of 90s Star Trek. And
I was
X-Files,
gonna
so
say, like, I had
interesting tip.
recognized either of their names, and so I was really interested
Yeah,
in
but also
who they
the other
are.
other thing I thought was interesting about Lawrence Andrews is he's a black writer, and
We
I
never
was like,
have
I
diversity.
yeah, I was like, I don't actually know if I can think off the top of my head of another black writer who has written for Supernatural.
He may be
There
the
may be
only
another one.
one.
Yeah, but I mean, he only did this one episode, but
I mean, I can't
worth
blame
noting.
him.
No, but yeah, worth noting because
Yeah, that's so
notoriously a very
interesting.
white writers' room.
Mm. Yes, as we saw in Sin City, it was nothing in this show is dealt with very well. Okay.
No.
So Red Sky Morning is a really fun, interesting episode. There's a ghost ship, and so anytime anyone sees a ghost ship, they end up then dying. And so the boys go to I don't even know where it's set, but it looks like the ghost ship from Goonies. But they go to this place where people have been like dying in weird places, but their manner of death has been drowning every time. And so they end up running into Bella, and she's kind of acting like she's trying to figure it out too. But I mean, we know her. We know that like she's out for herself. And so what ends up happening is like three deaths in. Like I think she's kind of following the Winchesters around and like trying to kind of like I think that she kind of uses their pattern to figure out her thing, but eventually they are able to break in and they're going to like destroy this hand of glory, which the lore leads them to believe is the way to get rid of the bad guy, the ghost. So through their research, they realize that he is a brother who was hanged by his own brother. And so the ghost has been targeting people who have possibly killed a member of their own family. And so after Bella pulls one over on the boys and runs off with the hand of glory and sells it, she sees the ghost, and we are we it's revealed to us that she's actually killed her family, which is more interesting. Like Bella lore, like they kind of get on her case about it, and she's like, you don't understand what happened, and we still don't know what happened yet. We will find out later. But she's like, you got to help me, the hand is gone. And they're like, ugh. And so Sam like comes up with this really like interesting like smart plan to, instead of burning the hand of glory, which is what I would imagine is the only way, he actually does a seance and brings the brother that hanged the ghost originally back to back. And that way, when the ghost comes to kill Bella, he'll actually get to confront his brother for killing him. And then his unfinished business is over, and then poof, they're gone. And so at the end, Bella thanks the boys by giving them like a bunch of money that she earned from the Hand of Glory cell. And that's it. I think that's everything. It's pretty straightforward, even though it's got a lot of like fun moments in it.
Yeah, yeah. It's a I don't know. It's not a filler episode, and
No,
also I don't like using the word filler episode pejoratively because I actually think that like filler episodes are a really important part of TV
me
like especially
too.
something like a Monster of the Week TV show,
Hmm.
and that's one of the problems with like the switch to the like 8 to 10 episode a season format. Like the new
Yeah,
seasons of Doctor Who have really suffered from not being able to have filler episodes, so I
I
don't want to use that pejoratively.
agree.
And I think there's too much that's going on in it to call it filler even as a
Yeah.
good in a good way. But you know what I mean? It's not like it's not a lore heavy episode.
Yeah.
It's just it's fun. It's a good
Yeah,
case.
it's a good case. It's a ghost story. We do learn a little
Yeah.
lore about Bella, but because she's not part of like the like arc of the boys, is you could
Hmm.
skip it and still like know what's going on, but you would be
Yeah.
confused in Jess and Bella like later. But
Yes.
yeah, so there's like a psycho-esque shower scene at the beginning. And
Yes.
I just thought it was very classically early 2000s horror movie to have a naked girl taking a shower.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is. I have to say I did also I did also write down that the ghost ship looks cheesy as fuck.
It does. And
the the CGI is not good, but on the other hand, I'm trying to give it the grace of the fact that it's like early 2000, like early mid
yeah,
2000 CGI.
on the CW
They,
too.
they
Like
have,
it's
yeah, they have fewer excuses for the bad CGI that comes in like season 15 and stuff. So
yeah.
to be honest, it probably still looks better than some of the season 15 CGI. So,
Oh my
but
God, that's actually really depressing.
yes, yeah, there's so many things where it's just like you can just tell that the budget, like for like hair and makeup and costuming and
hmm
stuff, they well either they cut the budget or they just stopped caring. I don't know, but
I
yeah.
think they
But
stopped
anyway,
caring.
yeah, but
That's
a bit
what
of
I think.
both, I think. But
Hmm
yeah, I thought the ghost ship just looked really silly, which it's kind
Yeah.
of a silly episode, I suppose. So it's kind of okay. But I couldn't possibly take it seriously as like a horror thing.
Yeah, and like some of the clouds were even really bad. Like it's funny because
Yeah.
I noticed that and I was like, oh, those cloud because there's it's supposed to like be obscuring something. I think a cloud was like supposed to help like those who were doing the special effects not have to do as much, but then the cloud itself
Yeah.
looked really bad. Like, anyways, it wasn't
Yes.
great. But then after the cold open, we go to the boys and they're having an infuriating conversation. And so like Dean is doing this like parent
Many
thing,
such things of these in
many
season
such
3, like
cases. Yes.
yeah.
Um, and Dean is like, you got something to tell me? The bullet was missing from the cult. And it's like, you're not my mom, Dean. Like, relax. Like, I don't know. Every time Sam and Dean have
I
had a conversation this season, it's pissed me off because he is just like Dean is
Yes.
so infuriating this season for some reason.
I literally said that him doing the you like saying you got something to tell me immediately activated my fight or flight, because like
Yeah.
he's not super aggressive about it here, but if you think about like as we go on through the seasons, when Dean asks that kind of question, I've been programmed to expect like him to start throwing shit or punching Sam or
Or
like so my
putting
whole
you in a
body was just
dungeon. Yeah.
yeah, my whole body was just like
I'm like, Sam, open the door, roll out of the car.
yeah. I was like, run while you still can.
I know. Well, the funny
We
thing
gotta
is Sam like
gotta get him out.
fully like downplays it. Like he's just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. He makes a joke. He makes like two jokes. And Dean's like, the what about the cult? And like, um, Dean's like, well, you must have called the demon, which you did. You could have gotten yourself killed. Sam's like, well, I didn't. And I kind of just love how low key Sam is like about this. Like he's not arguing, he's not even raising his voice. He's just sick of arguing with Dean. And you can see like
Yeah.
the life is kind of drained out of him. Like he's sick of having this conversation because
Yep.
he's like Dean is, and then here's the thing too, because Dean has been like, hey, because I say so, we're not doing this. Whatever, we're not even going to talk about this. But then as soon as he like confronts Sam and is like, well, what did the demon say? Like he's consistently showing interest in knowing more about the deal, if he's out of the deal, who holds the contract now that he has more information. And even though
Mm-hmm.
before he was acting like, he didn't want to try it all. And so like this proves in my opinion that Sam has always been right all along to continue to go forward
Yeah.
trying, even though he has to do it behind Dean's back, because Dean doesn't actually know what he wants and he doesn't know he doesn't know how he feels, and he doesn't know how to communicate how he feels either.
Yeah.
And so anyways, the whole
And
conversation
it
to me was like
yeah.
infuriating.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I was I was gonna say I assumed that you guys mentioned the fact that the Crossroads demon that Sam shot was Jared's girlfriend at the time in the last episode.
Hmm hmm
He's killed two people that he was dating on
hmm
on this show,
And
which is kind of funny.
it's not gonna end. Yeah, I think we also kind
Yeah.
of like, yeah, it was a weird thing.
Yes.
But also
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Sam's line, I'm not going to apologize for trying to save you. And he basically says, go fuck yourself. Like it's screw you, Dean. And I love
Yes.
that, like, thank you. Like, um, he basically is doing what Dean did and what
Yeah.
in the future Dean's going to hold him accountable for not doing, later. And so it's one of those things as a Sam enjoyer, I know that you feel this way. You feel insane because you're just like, he can't do anything right. Because right now he's doing
Yes.
what future Dean would want him to do, but current Dean is giving him a hard time for it. And then later
Yeah.
he's going to do what past Dean wanted him to do.
This is
And now
exactly it.
future Dean doesn't want that.
It's the goalpost shifting. He can
Yes.
literally never win. Yeah,
Mhm.
and also it's just like literally just a few episodes ago we had Dean being like, I'm entitled to do whatever it took basically to save you because
Yeah.
I'm
I'm the
entitled to being a
oldest.
bit
Yeah.
yeah, I'm the oldest. I'm entitled to being selfish about this,
Mhm.
but then Sam isn't allowed to return the favor of
Well, and
doing
also
whatever.
his selfishness, like Dean's selfishness, directly affects Sam. It's not like he's making
Exactly.
a decision for his own like well-being. Like he
Yeah.
literally brought Sam back from the dead, and now he is putting that burden. He's literally saying, no takesies, backsies, because I didn't want the burden, so I'm giving it to you, and you're not allowed to like try to undo it because I got
Yeah.
to undo my hard feelings about it, and now you're stuck with them. Like it's fucking insane.
It
Um,
is.
I then wrote, oh no, this is the episode where Sam gets groped by an old lady.
Yes.
And I said, creepy grandma, leave my son alone.
I think to be honest, my first reaction when we saw Gert was that she's in an episode of Star Trek Next Generation called Silicon Avatar. It's a really good episode. She's really good at it. It's but yeah.
She's
I
not
mean,
as creepy in that
yeah,
episode.
I don't know. I mean, she's very morally ambiguous. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, she's not stroking like Jared Padalecki's index finger.
Oh my god, yeah. So literally that was what I think that's my next thing was like
Ugh.
older ladies love Sam's fingers because I was thinking about the scene in
Mhm.
Ask Jeeves
Yes.
as well.
I'll
where they
always
have
remember.
where they have the ladies being like, "Oh, look at his fingers," and they're like stroking his fingers there too. So
Hmm.
so number one, older ladies love Sam fingers, but number two, supernatural writers and or directors also presumably have noticed the fingers and
But they also want
are
to
also
imply
similarly obsessed.
like penis size. And he's like, she's literally asking, is there anything else you need me to do? And she's like stroking his finger. I'm like, Mama, you need to just go buy a vibrator and leave him alone. Like, please. This is so awkward.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
Yeah, it was kind of more uncomfortable than just coming out and saying something. Like I was just like, oh my God,
Yeah,
stop touching him. But he was in a
yeah,
navy blazer. It looked good. And then
yes,
he was able, I know you love this part, that Sam was able to list off a bunch of Clipper ship names off the top of his head. He was just like,
yes.
actually, here's a list of like 20 of them.
Yes, that was so great. I did also say that when they kept saying the word ghost ship, I was like, if this had been a season 1 episode, this episode literally would have just been called Ghost Ship,
Ghost ship.
because like all the season 1 episodes are just very literally what the
Yeah.
titles are just very literally whatever the thing is. So
It's
I
so,
think we
yeah.
were saved by this episode being later on.
Yeah.
Also, I remember the first time I watched this, I was confused by the title because I think I'd only ever heard the Red Sky at Night Shepherd's Delight version rather than Sailors. So I was like, what does Red Sky at Morning have to do with ships?
It means that there is high pressure in I Googled it because I was like, what's a red sky morning mean? And they're like, oh, it's about the
Yeah.
conditions on the ocean. Which is so
Yeah, but
I love
I
it.
don't. There's another version that's Red Sky at Night, Shepherd's Delight, Red Sky at Morning, Shepherd's Warning, rather than Sailors. So yeah, and
Interesting.
I'd only ever heard the Shepherd's version, so I was very confused the first time I watched this about why it was titled that because I was like, "There's no sheep to be seen."
Where are the sheep?
Yeah,
Oh my
there
God,
was
that
not
would
a
be so
sheep.
funny. Oh my God. If it was like a French mistake episode where there's like a fourth wall break, then like your confusion would just bring sheep like to the ship.
Yes, that would be awesome.
I was watching The Good Place last night, and so I'm in that mindset where like, have you seen The Good Place?
Yes, yeah, I love the Good Place.
I'm in like where Eleanor has like a dream about shrimp because she ate shrimp the night before, and then there's
Oh
like a
yeah.
giraffe running through town. Anyways, okay, so a very iconic scene is when Dean comes out and the Impala has been towed,
Yes.
and he's pissed, which is so funny, and he like starts
And then
having
he
a
starts
panic
having
attack.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wondered whether or not the panic attack was in the script or that was like a Jensen ad lib. It felt to me a very like Jensen ad lib moment.
Yes.
I don't think we've got the script for this one, so I can't go and check. But yeah, I saw it and I was like, that feels like something that he just did on the spot, and it's perfect because it's
It's
so
so good. He's so good at being
yeah.
funny. I love that so much.
Yes, I literally said this the other day, like on Tumblr. I was like, when is he gonna stop playing like action hero genre man and go do like just a really bad slapstick comedy movie for me, please,
Yeah.
please, Jensen, I would love it.
I think it'd be super funny. Well, I think like he
I think he'd be
reminds me,
happy. He loves doing it. It's so obvious that he
yeah,
loves.
his delivery a lot of, I know this is just does not seem like a connection to make, but I love Friends so much and I grew up watching it. I know
Hmm.
people say it like ages poorly, but like I literally watched it as a child because it started in 94 and I was 8.
Yeah.
And so my parents watched it. I watched it on syndication throughout my whole life. I had every box set. I just loved it. And Jensen genuinely reminds me of like Matt LeBlanc doing like in
Mm.
Joey Tribbiani, like later seasons deliveries of
Yes.
Friends. I see that in Jensen so often. And sometimes I wonder, like,
Absolutely.
is he also a child of Friends? Probably. And maybe
Yeah.
some of his comedy was impacted by Joey. But I just think that because I do think that Dean and Joey are like in a similar category of like, how you doing? Like that's their
Yeah. Yeah.
thing. So when he's being funny, I see it sometimes, especially because Joey was also like constantly eating. And I feel like that's one of Dean's
True.
major traits of his comedy. But so they're pissed at Bella. Like I think they go back. They've been
Yes.
squatting a lot, by the way. Like I'm like, where are they? This house is like falling apart. And she's like, are y'all actually squatting? And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Um, they hate her in this. They're furious with her. Like after she kind of is like, oh yeah, I'm like a few steps ahead of you guys. Oh, by the way, you're 0 for 3. Bye. And she leaves. Like Dean's like, can I shoot her? And Sam's like, not in public. And
Not
I'm
in
like,
public.
damn.
Yes. I wrote that one down. I did also like the like the line where Bella's like, "Oh, why are you so annoyed at me?" or whatever, and Sam's like, "You shot me."
I barely grazed you.
Yes.
She's cute, but a bit of a drama queen. Yeah. I love
Yeah.
her. And it's so funny because Sam is literally the way he was treating Dean at the beginning, where he was just like, go fuck yourself. He is like that through the entire episode about everyone,
Yes.
which I love. They're just mad a
Yes.
gorgeous, gorgeous girl is 10 steps ahead of them. They can't stand it.
That's
But
true.
okay, so the people who die um
Yes.
are having these weird moments. And so this guy is like running a very intensely dark bath and my dumbass was like, "Oh, he's having a little bath bomb." No, he's going to be murdered. Like
Yeah.
and I think he does the white people thing where instead of being like, "What the fuck?" he like reaches into the tub to like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
which doesn't make sense. And of course he ends up dying. And I feel like he's the only one who dies in a way that it makes sense that he's drowned. Like the first girl, I really didn't know how she died. Like there was a shadow that came up behind her and then
I was
slammed
so
her.
confused.
Yeah.
I was so confused by this because if you look at the subtitles as well, like it says like it has like a cracking sound
Yeah.
at the end, and it really looks like her neck is snapped.
Yeah.
And to be honest, even the second guy, it looks more like he's being strangled than he's being drowned.
Yeah. And he has
Like
these
Bella,
veins
Bella,
coming. Hmm.
yeah, Bella is like the only one where we see water coming out of her
Well,
mouth.
and the guy who dies in his front seat, the brother.
Oh
They're
yes, that's true.
twins.
Yeah,
And so
but
I was
yeah,
like, ¿por qué?
the other my only other problem with this with the conceit of this episode is it felt a little bit repetitive of Dead in the Water, because
Oh,
Dead in the
yeah.
Water is also like people who are like drowning on dry land essentially. So
I think he should have maybe done like a noose or something like the Phantom of the Opera
yeah,
because he was hanged. Like he didn't drown. He was hanged by
that's
his
true.
brother. And so it would have
Yeah,
made more sense if the way that I mean, we get it. He's from the ship. The ship gives us the nautical connection. We don't need also there to be like an ocean. Like if his brother had
yeah,
threw him overboard, maybe it would have made more sense for his method of murder to be that,
Mm.
but just yeah, I agree with you. I thought that was odd, an odd choice.
Yes. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think they should have gone with that, and it would have worked better with the kind of strangulation thing if they still wanted to go for that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe not even a physical noose. Maybe everyone they find is like it's as if they were strung up and hanged with a
yeah,
noose.
exactly.
And it's like,
Yeah.
ooh, yeah, that would have made more sense. But yeah, I wrote
Yes.
down like, how did this girl die? Did she get slammed against the shower wall enough? And then later they said she drowned, but I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But as I have been saying, the show is so much better when the dynamic includes a woman who calls the boys out on their shit. So like every scene with Bella, I'm
That's very
like,
true.
yeah.
Have Yeah, have we discussed, because obviously I've not been on the last couple of episodes. Have you
Mhm.
guys discussed like the fandom reaction to
No, not at all. We
to
always,
the
every
the girls
time
yet?
we have like an outside question, we go, Vic would know. So like, please tell us anything you know about, because I'm assuming
Yeah.
it was
Well,
poor because they're always so mean to people who step into a
I
role
was
being
gonna say
romantic with
I
Dean.
have I have a post that I think we should definitely link
Oh, absolutely.
in the
Yes.
notes. It is
The
the
Bella
title
effect.
of it. Yeah, the title. So it's an article with an interview with Kripke, and the
Mm.
headline of the article was "We won't be One Tree Hill with monsters."
Okay, what? Relax.
So basically, what it is it was like an interview with Kripke. I'm just trying
Hmm.
to find the post that was done before season 3 aired, but basically was him reacting to the fandom's reaction to the rumors that there were going to be women. So, like,
Just
not
the
even,
thought of it was like
yeah, literally
awful.
just the thought. Yeah, so like, obviously I can't read the whole thing because it's long, but like the start of this article is all hell has broken loose in the supernatural community ever since news leaked that the show was introducing 2 new shagadelic female series regulars coming this
Oh
season.
my
Fans have
God.
Fans have inundated me with hundreds of angry emails. Their chief concern, in a bid to broaden the serial thriller's appeal, CW Brass are forcing producers to bimbofy the show.
Because
Hence the
women are
two,
on set, it's automatically bimbo.
yeah, yeah. Hence the
Oh
two
my
new
God.
lady, hence the 2 new lady killers.
Oh,
In an exclusive interview, series creator Eric Kripke addressed the controversy head on, clearing the air about the changes ahead and offering a preview of what he's calling the best series of Supernatural yet. It's fascinating stuff. So I
wow.
recommend, yeah. And it's
That's
like,
that is so blatantly misogynistic that I'm honestly my jaw is hanging
yeah.
open.
It is actually interesting in that. So Ruby was he's Kripke in this says that Ruby was a character that they had already planned to introduce, but that the CW did ask them to introduce a second woman,
Well,
and
thank God.
So
That's
that
bad
Bella
when a
was,
studio needs more women on your show.
yeah. So Bella was the one that they introduced because they'd basically been asked to come up with a second
What a great
female
character
character.
too. Like
Yeah,
I love her because she just like I've said, she extends the universe of like the supernatural that there are people like this who deal with,
yeah,
the supernatural in a different way than hunters, and it just makes everything so much more dynamic. And I guess they read that there's 2 new ladies and assumed they were just because they can't think outside of what they already know. There's 2 new hunters and their love interests because all they think of women is bimbo or love interest.
yeah.
And then we're
But there's also,
done.
yeah. So I mean, the two things that Kripke says in this is the we're not turning into One Tree Hill with monsters, I swear, and then also that people seem to think online that the show is suddenly going to become Scooby Doo and it's going to be 17 with these 2 girls in the backseat of the Impala and they're going to cruise from town to town, going to go do a little go-go dancing and they're going to fight some monsters. That's not the case.
Also, those
They're
things
a
would
kid.
be fun.
Yeah.
What's wrong with having girls around? That's so
and then
fucking
and then
crazy.
he's like immediately clarifying that they're only going to be in like maximum 12 out of the 22 episodes, and
And we only get
so
16.
yeah. Anyway, I can't read the whole thing, but
We'll
yeah,
definitely link that. And we'll
link
dink.
it and go read it because
Yeah.
it's interesting to see a show having to preemptively react
Yeah. In real time.
to even the thought of women.
Ugh. That's
Because
disgusting.
yeah, yeah. And then there's another article that I couldn't find, but I'll see if I can find it before we like
Before the
put
week.
out the
Yeah,
show notes and
we'll put
stuff.
this in the show notes, and I'll also put the
Um,
Bella effect from Tumblr
yeah,
on the show notes because that's
but
actually really interesting too. And it starts with
yes,
Bella.
yeah, that one's really interesting. But there's another article that I think is maybe beginning of season 4, and it's kind of basically being like, well, we tried women last season.
So we're not gonna do
so
that ever again.
we've only got the one this season. Don't worry, or whatever. Like, yeah.
My
Anyway, so
God.
yeah, it's a fascinating combination of both the writers' room and the audience
Like,
being
what is wrong with
fantastically
everyone?
misogynistic.
Jesus. That is, well, I thought the
Yeah.
One Tree Hill like comment was like kind of sexist of Kripke, but considering
Oh
the
God, yeah.
context for what he was having to respond to, now I'm like, damn, he could have been worse.
Yeah.
Like shit. Okay. But what's funny, and
Yeah.
I want to continue to bring this up because he's very
Yes.
different now. And on The Boys, he is extremely protective of his female leads and the women that are cast on his show.
Sure.
So I don't know. This is just an interest. It for me knowing we know very well where he came from because I know better about I know nothing more than what I know about Supernatural. Like that's the thing I know the most
Mm.
about, when it comes to television.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like we know very well like where he was. And so when I would read stuff about how he is now with the boys and where he told the incels to go fuck themselves and we don't want you to watch and like she's awesome and y'all are just dumb. Like I love to see that now because this is where we were. My goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
I guess it's an
goodness.
improvement.
It is. It's not the
Yeah.
destination, but it's better. Jesus. All right. So one of the things I love about Bella in this episode is she continues to turn the daddy issues thing that Dean does to her around back
Oh,
on
that was
Dean.
so fucking
Isn't that
funny.
great? And
I
she
mean,
does it
I'm so
multiple times.
yeah, I mean, I literally wrote "get his ass" like four different times. One of them was directed toward was Sam, of saying not as in directed
Mhm.
towards Sam, as in Sam got a get his ass as well. But both of them
Yeah.
were Bella.
Go fuck yourself, Dean was so funny. I mean, he says go screw yourself because
Yeah.
it's a CW, but we all know what he meant.
Yes,
We know what he meant.
exactly.
But it's just funny because, like, God knows
Uh,
no one has more daddy issues than Dean. And
yeah,
she's like,
I was gonna say.
hello? Don't you look down at your
Like,
nose at me? You do this out of vengeance and obsession. I'm actually doing a job. Like, she's so iconic for that.
yes, oh, the vengeance and obsession bit was so good, and the like, you're a stone's throw from being a serial killer. That's the bit that I was like, yes, exactly, get
And
there,
the
have
boys,
him.
like, look at each other like, is she right? Like, yeah,
Yeah,
kind of.
and I also loved when they were trying to interview the person as the FBI, and then you saw like she's in the background, like trying to basically dob them into the police, and
Mhm.
they have to like run off. Like that really made me cackle as well.
It's so good. Like, it's a fun dynamic. It's just so fun. And I think,
Yeah.
like, especially Dean needs to be put in his place here and there. And, like, it's one of those things where,
Yeah.
like, if Sam were to be like, okay, you have daddy issues, he wouldn't ever be able to hear it because he's like, you're just my little brother. But, like, Bella says it, clocks him so quickly. He's kind of like, hey, like, it does sting him a bit. But
Yeah.
then this is exciting for us. So Sam is in a pretty little plaid shirt, but then he has like a black hoodie on over it and then a jacket over the hoodie. We like a
Yes.
multiple layer moment if it's done well. It's not just the same shirt over and over again. And we like
Yes,
a
it
hoodie
is.
and it's there for a bit.
I love the little like hoodie and jacket combo. It's
Me
cute.
too. Me
Yeah.
too.
It looks
I
very
know.
cozy.
We love a cozy little boy, and he's so grumpy this whole episode, as he should. Like he has every like he's being literally groped like the whole time. He has every right to be grumpy. So
Yes.
I'm glad he gets to be cozy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll talk about that more when we get to that scene, but yeah. I have lots to say about that.
We're almost there too. So like the next
Yeah.
scene, unfortunately, Sam is in the ugly vertical striped faded gray shirt that I always hate. And I'm like, where the fuck are they? It's an abandoned house.
I can hear you mentally deducting points for the wardrobe as we speak.
Thankfully, most of it's pretty good, but like that shirt, I was
Yeah.
like, no, no.
Yeah.
So Bella is essentially the researcher for this case because like she's just bringing all this information to the boys. And then when she talks about like how he's missing a hand, because they've are at this point, the guy has died like in his car, and so they saw the apparition with a missing hand, and then Dean's like weird and like
Which, again, the ghost does not look great.
yeah,
Can I
I
just
liked him
say that
because
as
it
well?
reminded me of Pirates of the Caribbean, but like you're right, like the CGI
Yeah, you're right, it is a bit
wasn't great.
Well, it's not even the CGI. It's just like the. I
He
don't
had
know.
like
I don't know what it
curly
is
hair in his
exactly.
face, and he's just
Yeah, I think this will tie into something I'm gonna say when we rate the like acting, directing,
Yeah.
writing, directing bit in the general stuff. But
Yeah.
it's kind of more a comment on season 3 in general, I guess. But yeah,
yeah, totally. But like as I was gonna say, like Dean is kind of like, yeah, weird is missing his hand, and Sam and Bella both look at him. They're like, but no, like it's a hand of glory, and he's like, what? And so then Sam has to like explain what a hand of glory is,
yeah.
and then
My Buffy brain immediately went to the episode with the Hand of Glory that is the one that the trio curse, so that it sends Buffy in a time loop where she can't get out of it until she manages to like give the person the Hand of Glory without it trying to kill them.
no, I don't remember that one. See, I need to rewatch
It's a
Buffy.
season 6. It's a season 6 episode.
I've only seen season 6 once, so I do need to rewatch
Okay.
it. I've gotten all the
I
way through season 5 rewatch, and then I like something. I think I moved, and it was like 2 years ago, and I
I
never finished.
I unfortunately am like a misery lover, so like my
Oof.
favorite 3 seasons of Buffy are like the last 3.
Season 6 is
So,
tough, and season 5 is
yeah.
so good. We should do
But
like a
season 5, I
Patreon
think.
episode discussion of Buffy,
Oh,
just for
oh
people to
God,
hear us
I would
like
love it.
shit talk because we love it so much. But I'd love to hear you go off about that. But I laughed because a fanfic trope happens in this episode. It's
Yes.
a we hate each other, but we have to go undercover and dress up and look hot. And now we're attracted to each other.
Yes.
Which I have written.
Actually,
I've written an episode. I've written my own fic like this in my
yeah.
own way. Like this is what something that we dream of, and it's canon.
Yeah. Actually, I was also going to say another thing that made me think of a Buffyverse collection is
Ooh.
that something about the particular way that Bella's styled the like that dress with the necklace and kind of the hair. It's not quite the
Mm,
same, but it's similar.
yeah,
Really reminds me of the way
Cordy.
Cordy is dressed in
Yes.
the Angel episode, Waiting in the Wings,
Hmm.
which is the one with the ballerina and Cordy and Angel end up kissing. And
I
anyway,
love Cordelia.
which is what which is why I remember it because I have a Kangol
Me
like
too. I
shiver
love Cordy
till
and
I die.
Angel. I just love Cordelia. I just want her to be happy. But
Yeah.
anyways, I agree. I think it's the same vibe. Like I could totally see that.
Yeah, I think it's probably just like an early 2000s or mid 2000s formal wear thing, I
For
guess.
sure.
But yeah.
It's like kind of a problem. But Bella being straight up about wanting to have angry sex with Dean is so funny because like
Yes.
he is usually really forward, and then she's so forward with him that like he's like, I don't even know how to like what? And he's like, don't
Yes.
objectify me. Another iconic moment for Dean, which is very cute.
Yes. Which, I mean, that is definitely a type of guy. Like, there is a type of guy who
Yeah.
will come on to any woman who will move and be extremely forward but can't cope with the idea of like
Of it coming
like
back,
it just
that energy coming
yeah,
back at them. Yeah.
exactly. Like
He's
because
like,
they're
oh,
just like this is not how it's supposed to be.
don't objectify me.
I was just gonna say I also love the line that Bella says to Sam when he like reels off a fact at her and she's like, aren't you a sharp tack? Oh, it's a Hand of Glory one, I think. And
Mhm.
she's like, aren't you a sharp tack?
It's just like
But also, yes, he is.
he is a sharp tack. He's over everything to do with you because you shot him in the shoulder.
Yes.
So poor Sam has to escort the creepy grandma. So we're there. We're to the. I said,
Oh.
consent is key, you old hack. Like, leave him alone.
Yes. So yeah, I had a couple of things to say about this, which is like, first of all, it's just like Supernatural using like sexual assault / harassment against Sam for
Yeah,
comedy.
harassment. Oh
Yay.
my God, yes.
Yeah. But it's also like we talked like last time I was on about the way that Supernatural uses like sexual assault as
Hmm.
kind of
Comedy.
like an well, they
Oh,
use
I'm
it
so sorry.
as an
Yes.
indicator of like, oh, this person is like super super evil,
Hmm.
but then they also use it
Or
as
it's super
comedy.
funny. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And particularly if it's directed towards a man, which is very
Hmm.
typical of like this idea that like
Well, it's so
men
strange
can't be
because it's
sexually
like,
assaulted by women.
do you want us to take it seriously or not? Like, there's never a time
Yeah,
it's actually genuinely like dealt with. It's either
yeah.
extremely evil or it's a joke, like you said. And so then it's like, well, when are we ever going to actually like discuss it in a real way,
It's
which it
either
can't be done.
so monstrous that it
Mhm.
is it's not treated as something that's a real thing that really happens. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Oh, a
Like
hundred percent.
it's treated as like a thing that is the domain of demons and
Mhm.
you know evil creatures that don't exist rather than being a real thing that happens to real people, or
Yeah.
it's like so lighthearted and comedic that it doesn't matter, and then there's
Right.
like no ground for it to be like a thing that is a real serious thing that actually happens in real life.
Right. And I
um
think it's really weird too that like the hot girl is into Dean, but for some reason it's always like the weird side
yeah,
chick that's in Sam is like the butt
so
of a
I,
joke. Like
I
it's
had a couple
weird.
of I had a couple of comments on this, which is number one that we got this like the sexy music when Dean
Hmm.
appeared in his tuxedo,
Yeah,
and
and she
Bella
had
was
this
like, "Woo!"
reaction and she was like,
Yeah,
"Ugh."
yeah,
And I'm like, he looks
and
the same.
yeah, and then like we see Sam in his, and he looks number one. I'm just gonna say it. He looks better than Dean. I'm sorry, he
Yeah, he
does.
does.
But
Because he's so
like
tall.
Sam,
There's so many angles and
yeah,
lines.
and the hair we
Mm.
always like when he does like the hair when it's
Yeah.
I always love the fact that Sam, when he like has to go undercover and be like a little bit fancy or like
Fancy.
be serious or something, he's always like, oh,
Hmm.
God, do my hair. I love that.
Yeah, he
But
slicks it back.
yeah. But the more serious comment I have, was that I do think that there is something very particular to be said about how like Supernatural views Sam's proximity to masculinity
Yes.
in the recurring joke of particularly like older women hitting on him,
Hmm.
and also their views of women, because they think that it is inherently funny for an older woman to be a sexual
Sexually.
being.
Yes. Sexual.
Yeah,
That's exactly right.
so
They're
it's like
always
it's
making
very
fun of
revealing of
women and
both
sexual assault
emotions.
all the time.
Yeah, but yeah, I think there is, I think they are not intentionally, but they are saying something about how they view Sam as being intrinsically less masculine
Hmm.
than Dean in this recurring joke.
Right.
Like, yeah,
Definitely.
because
It's definitely
he's not someone to.
internalized. It's not something they're
Yeah,
like, haha, we hate old women, but it's like an internalized, like, yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
it's betraying their internalized like sexism and ageism,
yes,
I guess. I don't know. Like that women of all ages can be sexualized and it not make them a whore or make them, a hilarious old woman. Like it can just be like they're just a pretty woman and they exist and it's okay not to
yeah.
sexualize
I mean,
them.
the thing is, like, an older lady can find Sam attractive without it
Hmm.
having to be like inherently
Creepy.
comedic
Yes,
or
true.
creepy or
Yeah.
both. And the point is that to them, her being creepy is being comedic. So it's
Yes.
like they're intrinsically linked, right?
Yes. And
So
it's
yeah,
creepy that she's being so forward because she's old and older women are
yeah.
not considered. Yeah.
Yeah, which is what we're supposed to get from this, but it's like
Hmm.
it's not creepy because she's an older woman. It's
Right.
creepy because she's being creepy. It's
Hmm.
like it wouldn't matter what age she was.
Yeah. It's
This
reminding me
would
of
still be
Becky.
creepy as fuck. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Like Becky is equally as creepy.
Mm.
She's a young woman. Doesn't matter. Like, yeah, it's
Exactly.
but the show is trying to tell us that this is inherently like creepy / funny because
Hmm.
she's an older woman, and it's just like, ah.
Yep.
I mean, she's a gorgeous older woman, to
She
be honest.
is. She
Like,
really
she
is.
has beautiful hair. I hope that
Oh
my
my
hair
God.
looks that nice when I'm her
I
age.
thought the same thing. I love her hair.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Well, then we get the angry champagne drinking. He's so sick.
Yes.
And I wrote in all caps, "Stop grabbing my son."
Yes. Oh, that was actually the one last thing I wanted to comment on this, which is, again, I do think that there is something to be said for the way that Jared played Sam's reactions to this, in that I don't think he ever played up the comedy of it.
Mm-mm. He was
Like,
just over it. He was just as deadpan in the first part where he's having that important convo with Sam as he is the rest. Like it's as even as that.
There's like a way that you absolutely could have played that where like the person being groped was reacting to it in a kind of like very cartoonishly over the top, like that emphasized the comedy. Whereas I do think, and I've said this before, I think that whenever we've had scenes that involve Sam being like sexually assaulted or harassed in some way, like I do always feel that Jared plays it very straight and very seriously.
I agree.
And I really, really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
you're totally right. And I really love that in the next scene with Dean, he calls her Mrs. Havisham.
Yes.
And Dean's like, funny. What do you mean? And I was like, well, he doesn't. I guess he doesn't read Victorian literature, but Sam does. And I love that he does. So that was very cute. And then like later on, when Bella has like taken the hand and Sam corrects Dean, like he's like, I can't believe she's gotten one over on us again. Yes. And Sam's like, one over on you, not us. Yes. And Dean's like, thank you for clarifying.
That was the get his ass that I gave to Sam.
It's so funny.
So funny. Yeah. And he says it again. He says it so deadpan. And the line delivery on that is so fucking good.
It's good. You can really tell too. It's a brother moment where they're like,
oh yeah.
Well, thank you for clarifying. Like it's very funny.
Yes.
So the boys are really judgmental about her lore.
I want to kill both of them because okay, they have already figured out at this point that the ghost can come after you even for accidental deaths,
right?
Because they know about the person who killed their cousin in a car crash, which presumably was not a deliberate death. And yet they're immediately like jumping to the conclusion that Bella is like the worst monster,
like a murder.
Time. Yeah, and must have murdered a family member.
Right.
Even though it could plausibly be exactly the same kind of situation. It could have been a car crash. It could have been anything like that. And yeah, so I was like, both of you just need to fuck off.
Yes, I felt the same way. And she was like, you wouldn't understand. And I was like, true, they are men. Like the story is really really fraught. We'll learn more later, but
story is
it's tough. Really, it's so sad. And so what I really like about this scene though, even though both of them should go like fuck off, is that Sam decides he cannot let her die if he can figure out a way to help. So he does this great seance in a hoodie in the rain.
Oh my god.
I wrote hoodie Sam. Hoodie Sam.
Yes. Yes, I will say he looked so good. He should be wet and soggy at all times always.
He was definitely soggy because that hoodie was the big Stanford like season 1 hoodie. We love it.
Yes, but especially in a hoodie, like soggy Sam in a hoodie. Chef's kiss. Give me this more often, please. But I did think John's diary would be fucked if it had got as wet as it got in that scene. Like
seriously,
we should have seen it in later episodes, and they should have been having to like peel the pages.
They're like, and it was or like start the next episode. They're like using a hair dryer or something to like lay out all the pages.
But like anyone who's ever got a book wet knows that like they never recover. Like not that wet.
I've spilled full coffee cups onto my books at school sometimes, and I just have to like use them like wavy because I'm like, well,
yeah, exactly.
This is our life now. A wavy book.
And then my other thought was that if only Kripke didn't think that umbrellas were gay, they could have.
What is wrong with these people? Hey fellas, is it gay to get wet in the rain?
But on the other hand, Soggy Sam in the hoodie was very appealing to me.
Yes.
So
Look at the gifts of
maybe,
his misogyny and toxic
yeah.
masculinity. Thank you. I did enjoy that immediately Dean gets thrown into a monument.
Yes. Should happen more often.
It was so fun. Yeah, I was like, hey, this is a nice turn because usually it's the other way around. And then at the end of all this, like they do save Bella and she calls him clever. Like she comes to the house the next day and she's like, and Sam is in the heart sweater when she comes to the door the next day. And he's like, she gives him his due as he deserves. But then Dean's really mean to her. He's like, wow, so you'd rather give us like $10,000 than just apologize. And I'm like, look, or like thank us. And I'm like, look who's talking.
Yeah.
You would literally rather go to hell than admit that you're scared. You'd literally rather go to hell than just accept sometimes people die. You would literally rather do a
We'll
million
definitely be
things.
talking about that in the next episode.
Yeah, exactly. Or, like do anything healthy. Like Dean versus one healthy thought. He's toast. So
Yes, and I
for
mean also king of not apologizing most of the time too. So
literally.
who are you to?
So then it's like for him to be like, so you're so damaged. And she's like, yeah, it takes one to know one, bitch. Like
Yes.
exactly, period. I stand on it, T, whatever, boots down. I don't like, thank you, Bella. Dean is like by far the most damaged person on the show, period. Like
Yeah.
by far, like I know that Sam goes through more. Like we could do trauma Olympics, but like once Sam is in the cage, like there's no like
No.
competition. But Dean consistently is the most damaged in that he refuses to try to handle it in a way that doesn't harm others. And so
Yeah.
like it just drives me
Absolutely.
crazy that like he's like, oh, you're so damaged. Yeah, bitch, you're projecting. Because same to you,
Yes.
as are
Yes.
you,
I mean
sir.
he's projecting all over Bella this entire
Yeah.
episode. I
And he's
mean,
into her
yeah.
because, like, of course, who wouldn't be? Um, I'm into her. She's great. I love
Ah,
her.
I'm sorry, my laptop fell over.
Because having an avalanche. Um, and then once Bella leaves, Sam's like, she's got style. I'll give her that, which I really like. That's a very cool compliment.
Yeah.
So, do we want to finish our final thoughts by talking about the final conversation that they have at the end?
Oh,
Because it's
yes.
really infuriating as well. Like, we get nowhere, like, emotionally with the boys at this point.
Yeah. I said if I was Sam, I would just kill him myself.
Right. Then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Ugh,
And
problem
also
solved.
that this to me again is another like very Sam versus Sammy scene in that
Yeah.
Dean does apologize
Yeah.
to Sam for the response that he thinks Sam is going to have or should be having.
Right.
But the moment that Sam gives a response that isn't the one he expects, which
Yes.
turns the thing around on Dean, Dean is like, no, he shuts it out and he doesn't want
Mhm.
to deal with it. Because again, it's this thing of him being like entitled to selfishness, right? So
Mhm.
he doesn't have to actually give any like grace or apology or anything to
Yes.
Sam for hurting Sam in any way other than the way that Dean has decided that
It's
he might.
acceptable. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just such a clear example of that. Such a clear example of like the answer that Dean had in like the reaction that Dean had in his mind that Sam was going to have,
He
which
didn't
is
follow the
in
script.
the yeah, he didn't follow the script. Exactly, that's the best way of putting
Mhm.
it. Yeah, exactly. And the moment Sam doesn't follow the script,
Mhm.
Dean just shuts him out.
And that's what abusers do. And I'm not trying to say Dean's being abusive in this moment, but like
Hmm.
when a controlling, I'll say that for now, because I don't believe we've gotten to the point where like he's abusive constantly yet. We'll get
Yeah,
there. But like a controlling person is going to expect you to follow the script. And if you don't, then it's all off. And I feel like
yeah.
at beginning I was feeling like kind of good about it because I forgot where it was headed. And he was like, I understand
Hmm.
why you did it. And like he goes, if the situation was reversed, I guess I'd have done the same thing. You think? You literally were in the reverse situation and you did worse than this. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus. And I just love that Sam is consistently over it. I thought he said screw you at the beginning. He says it at the end, which is even better because it punctuates how over it he is for the entire episode. And when they leave you with that feeling at the end, when they leave you with something, that's what they want your takeaway to be. I love that their
Yeah.
takeaway for us with Sam and this is go fuck yourself, Dean. Like,
Yeah.
because Dean literally says, "Yeah, you'll get over it. You'll move on. I'm sorry for putting you through this, but you're stronger than me. Like you'll keep on hunting, keep on living. You'll be fine." And I think that's such a dismissive way to look at it because
Yes.
it's not true. Like Sam will not be fine, and Dean would not have been fine, and he knows he wouldn't have been fine. And then later on, I continuously have to bring up season 8 and the trials of like I mean, he actually goes through trials in that, so take that away. But I was gonna say the trials of Sam Winchester, where he's like
I
being
know what you
tried.
mean.
Yeah, he's being tried every single episode for being a bad brother. Like Dean is literally saying to him, "This is what I expect of you to do. This is what I think that
Yep.
you will do and you can do." And the fact that he's saying that to him in season 3 is such bullshit. And I love that Sam doesn't let it go by. He doesn't like sit quietly. He
And
just says,
the
"You know
other
what?
thing is,
Screw yourself."
yeah. And the other thing is that like when Sam then like okay, so he doesn't move on in season 4, right? That
Mm-hmm.
he does keep trying to in that in between time, he does keep trying to find ways to save Dean.
Mm-hmm.
But he does like take control of his own agency
Mm-hmm.
and find ways to survive, and then
Mm-hmm.
he's punished for that too.
Yep.
So it's like there literally is no winning.
Well, we'll get there in season 4. I can't talk about it now, but like I was about to go off on like a whole tangent.
Oh,
Anyways, I do love that that's our takeaway for Sam is like go fuck yourself.
yeah.
And he said like I don't want an apology from you. I'm a big boy. I take care of myself. I need you to give a fuck that you're dying, and I'm trying to stop it. And
Oh, I love the like I'm a big like the I love when Sam actively pushes back against Dean's infantilization of him, where
yes.
he's just like, I am not a child, you are
Mm-hmm.
not my parent. Like,
Mm-hmm.
step the fuck back.
And it's kind of like a no shit, I'll be fine because I'm an adult and I have to be, but it shouldn't be this way. It's that kind of
Yeah,
tone to me, and I
definitely.
like that a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, final thoughts before we rate this one. This one's such a good one.
It's a fun episode on the whole, except for the like sexual assault as comedy.
Right. And that's just
Um,
the spirit
and the
of the
slightly dodgy
show.
special effects. But yeah, I guess I like Bella. It's fun to have her for a whole episode. She gets Dean's ass a lot, which is fun. So
She wanted to
yeah,
get Dean's ass. The pancake ass, as you would say. Not me, Ackles Army. That's her.
yeah, come at me, Eccles Army.
Again, they love to listen to this podcast. Okay.
Uh,
Well, let's rate this one. We have our
yes.
wardrobe judgment first. So, horrendous, adorable, genuinely good, or terrible but great. Vic, what do you think?
I give it a genuinely good. I thought I don't mind that shirt as much as you. I think
Mhm.
that shirt's perfectly fine. He looked great in the tux,
Yeah.
particularly with the hair.
And then the hoodie.
And the hoodie, yeah,
He
various
had two
combinations of
hoodies.
hoodie.
He had that
Yes.
like brown hoodie, had that black hoodie under the jacket. No, I gave it genuinely good
Yeah.
as well. Like the gray shirt isn't offensive enough for me to like knock it down or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do. Oh, did you have more to say?
I was just gonna say I don't know whether or not the hoodie being soggy counts as like wardrobe, but it does in my heart.
It does. This is all fake, as I've said. You can do whatever you want. Okay. So, we are going to do the Sam friendly scale. So, Sam enjoyer
Yeah.
friendly scale first. We got screen time, enjoyment, hard eyes on a scale from 0 to 5 because we haven't gotten to a place where below 1 is going to happen really yet, but
We'll need it at some point.
you will. Yes. So I need to make it
I
clear.
mean-
You can score like a 0 if you want to. So screen time for Sam in this one. What did you give it, Vic?
I gave it a 3.2
Nice.
because he's not massively active in this, and a lot
Mhm.
of the screen time that he has
Mm-hmm.
is basically just an extended. Isn't it funny that he's being sexually harassed by an old lady joke?
Right.
So
And the answer is no.
yeah, but I wanted to give it some points for the very meaningful conversations with Dean at the start and end of the episode,
Yes.
which is often it's frustrating. It's often the case with episodes like this where it's like bookended by by like actual meaningful conversations. So you're like,
Yeah.
damn, I have to give it some points.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I gave it a 3 for screen time. So like we're
Yeah.
right there. What about enjoyment? As a Sam fan, how did you enjoy this episode?
I gave this a 3 as well.
Okay.
Like, again, I like his interactions with Bella, but he doesn't get a lot of it because Bella is really a Dean character in the way that, like, they kind of were like, they get one each. Sam gets Ruby
Right.
and Dean gets Bella, right?
Right, right, right.
A lady each. Uh, but I do like his interactions with Bella, and yeah, and the conversations with Dean that he got were good.
Hmm.
But yeah, related to the screen time, not the most enjoyable, and I
Same.
didn't particularly enjoy watching him getting groped for like no reason and being treated like it was comedy.
Yeah, I wasn't taken seriously. And I gave it a 3 also. It's like exactly the same.
Yeah.
Maybe we're gonna have the same score. So, what about your heart eyes?
So yeah, my heart eyes were. I get the heart eyes were a little bit of Sam Taxes. I gave this a 4.3
Nice.
because he was soggy, he was grumpy. I love a grumpy Sam.
I do love Grumpy.
I love the grumpy champagne swig back.
Yeah.
He got a couple. Yeah, he had a couple of like little smart Sam moments. So I
Yeah,
think there was enough like heart eyesy things for me, and he looked good.
he
So
did. That
yeah,
is true. I gave it a 3.5 just because I'm gonna get to a 4. I want there to be like some like gentle, tender, like
fair.
victim, supporting. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so I like a lot of how he was in this, but yeah. Overall, my average was a 3.16. Yours is a 3.5. So on the Sam scale, this episode is a 3.33333. So let's do a general rating. Let's see how it holds up against just like Sam goggles off. What kind of episode is this? So I went ahead and I added, like you said, directing to writing. So the first one is
Yes.
writing and directing together. So you can kind of like measure that, and then acting, and then just like overall, how did we enjoy it in general? Same scale, 0 to 5. So, Vic, how did you rate our writing and directing for this episode?
I gave this a 3.2. I think the writing is fairly good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that it kind of nails a good episode of Supernatural in the kind of like light-hearted episode vein.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a great episode of Supernatural, but as far as like light-hearted case-based episodes
Mm-hmm.
go,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fairly good. I definitely want to knock a couple of points off for the extensive amounts of sexual assault as comedy.
As funny, yeah.
Um, yeah, and then I also am knocking points off for the direction because I thought. Now, I think that this is partly just a problem of the fact that Supernatural actually, for the type of show it is,
Yeah.
has some really fucking good directing in it.
Yeah.
Um, I this to me was very bog standard.
Yeah.
It kind of it doesn't surprise me because the director is, I would say, kind of like, oh, if you look at his resume, he's kind of like a workhorse of Monster of the Week, the Alien of the Week style shows.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
This is
probably
just run of the mill for him.
he turned up and he did what he does on a lot of those shows
Right.
generally.
Yeah.
But this is where I think that the switch to the brighter colors
Mm-hmm.
in season 3 is starting to do the show a little dirty because I think you could get away in seasons 1 and 2 where you had
Yeah.
that more distinctive color grading and palette and the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
You could actually get away with an episode that wasn't as interesting directorially
Yeah.
because it still looked more visually
And
interesting.
stylistic, yeah.
Whereas, yes, and stylistic, even if you weren't doing anything particularly interesting with the camera, like
Right.
the lighting setup that Supernatural used in general and the color grading and stuff kind of gave it enough style that it kind of overrid that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that that also would have really fucking helped with the CGI and the ghost because I think once and it gets worse. We know this as the seasons go on.
Right.
Like, the more technicolor the show gets, the harder it is to hide like
Right.
bad ghost makeup and bad CGI. I still always think about in season 15 where they bring back like monsters that were in season 1, including they literally bring back the same actress who played Bloody Mary to play Bloody Mary again. And there's like a side by side. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling
I
way
love
too much
it.
about this. But yeah, it's just I think that it starts to become a little bit more noticeable in season 3 because this is when they switch up the color grading and the lighting of the show, and I understand why it happened because it was apparently extortionately expensive to do that lighting setup. So I get it, but
We miss
I think
it.
that it makes it, yeah, I think it makes it harder to hide just like average directing because it's
Yeah. I agree.
yeah.
I gave it a 3.6. I'm not as hard on them about the special effects just because it doesn't bother me if it looks bad.
Fair.
Because I am a fan of like Doctor Who and I love the
yeah,
stories of Doctor Who with even the kooky, like silly, like
Oh,
bad effects. But
I like cheesy bad effects
if that's the
in the
tone,
right, like
I get
it
it.
doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me in Doctor Who. It doesn't bother me in Buffy. It bothers me slightly more in Supernatural, where they're genuinely, really trying to be scary most of the
Yeah.
time. I don't know.
They're taking
Yeah,
themselves more seriously than those other shows for sure. But it just doesn't bother me. I also really like
yeah,
ships. I really like it made me think of the Goonies and I was like, this is cool. And I really like pirates. Like this
that's
is
cute.
fun. So I really enjoyed the story. I liked the location that they were shooting at. I thought it was really pretty
Mm,
because we usually just go to like the middle of the woods in Vancouver and then pretend it's Dallas.
yes.
And I really like that they went to like a pier and we got to see like water and like I don't know. So I
Yeah.
just thought it was cool. Okay, so what about the acting in this one? Vic, what did you score it for acting?
I give it a 4.5 because Lauren Curran is fantastic as Bella,
She's
really
great.
great.
Love her.
And I also think that the actress who played Gert is actually she's a really good actress.
Yeah, she's
So
fabulous.
as I said, I love her in the TNG episode that she's in.
Hmm.
So yeah, I felt that it deserved a pretty good score.
Yeah,
Um,
everybody did a good job.
so
I give it a
yeah,
4. Like it was fine. It wasn't like the best acting I've ever seen. It was one of those where there
no,
wasn't anything that called for it to be extreme, but it was fine. It was higher than fine because I felt like they did some funny stuff and that's always difficult. And so like
yeah,
a 4 is what I felt like it was fair to give it a
yeah.
4.
Actually, I think I might downgrade mine a little bit. Actually,
Oh,
particularly thinking about how I've scored the next one.
how do you
Yeah,
want me to
okay. I'll
change
give.
it?
I think I might give it a 4 as well.
Okay. No
Yeah,
pressure. You can keep it however you want.
no. It's just I'm getting used to this new scale, so I'm trying to think
Hmm.
about how to grade stuff. It takes a bit
Yeah,
of
I'm still settling into it
working it out.
too, for sure.
Yeah.
And the final thing is, how much, just in general, did you enjoy watching this episode?
I give this a 4. I thought it's solidly fun episode minus the stuff that we've already repeatedly said was
That's
not so
fair.
fun. Yeah.
That's fair. I think I gave it a 3.5. I'm kind of thinking of giving it a higher, but probably won't just because it's not one of my favorite episodes, but it is
Hmm.
one that I would throw on for fun. Though I grade ones down that I'm like, I would never watch this again, like unless I was watching the whole series. But I might throw
Yeah.
this one on because it specifically is fun to me.
Hmm.
So I scored this a 3.7 on the general scale. You scored it a 3.73. And so overall, a general score for this is 3.71 compared to the Sam score, which is 3.3. So Sam scale did drag this one down. So we did get a little higher score in a general rating for this one.
I think that's kind of fair.
Me too, especially because it's a Dean episode, so it makes sense.
Yeah. But it wasn't like a massive discrepancy either. So
Yeah.
yeah, which I think is about fair. Like it wasn't like yeah, it
Like
wasn't
if
like
we
a
had
born under the
done,
bad sign. It
yes,
wasn't like a born under the bad sign where I would have given that like straight 5s across the board for me personally. I know not for you, but for me versus like what we gave it.
maybe
You know,
on the Patreon, we can go back and discuss certain episodes with the new scale, and that can be like
yeah,
another thing we do.
that could be
Like,
fun.
because
There's a podcast I listen to, Kill James Bond, which is like to me like the gold standard of like watch and review podcasts. I love it so much. But they do a thing where they do for Patreon bonus episodes. They occasionally do an episode where they go back and rewatch a movie that they've already watched. Usually it's one of the Bonds that they started off doing, and they have to like redo the episode, but either they have to just watch it again and take no notes, or they only have their original notes that they made like 2 years ago, and they have to like redo the whole episode just based off their original notes from 2 years ago.
That's
And it always
funny.
they're so fucking funny. So I'm always like, maybe we should just do that one day and just like find one of the ones that's like a really weird, like convoluted episode, and then we have to try and reconstruct it based off of our notes.
That would be really funny. That's so, I like that.
I
All right,
think
we
we might kill Elle though, because I don't think Elle takes the like. She always says she kind of does it a bit on the fly, so I think she'd be
Mhm.
there with like 3 notes.
Like,
We'd be
damn, I know. Are we ready for fresh blood?
I am definitely very ready for Fresh Blood. Yes.
Okay, I was genuinely really surprised. So Fresh Blood is Sarah Gamble, and then again it lists
Yes.
Kripke and Carver, and then it was directed by Ken Manners. So again, this is your dream team?
Yep.
And I literally immediately was like, Bella and Gordon, like they're
Yeah, I'd kind of forgotten that Bella was
everything.
appeared in this.
Yeah, they're
Yes,
throwing every iron into the fire that we have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'll just say this here just because it's just a quick comment, but I did literally like we should have gotten more of Bella and Gordon together. Like they were fun and kind of
yeah,
sexy. Like
yeah,
like
literally.
both of them are very hot. They should have fucked.
It's so true. Well, and they're so seedy and sinister in their own
Mhm.
ways, but they're so different. They're on like opposite like places
Yeah.
on the spectrum of like it's so crazy. So let me summarize this one really fast. So Fresh Blood starts with Bella is like trying to enter her car, and then Gordon comes up behind her and threatens her. And she's like, I don't deal well with threats, but make me an offer. And he's like, okay, I'll give you like I think she clocks that he has this like hoodoo bag that's really probably very like sellable. And so he gives it to her. And so she calls and Dean, and that's the cold open. And so then we go into the little blonde they call Wavy Gravy is like murdering people, and they're like, oh, a vampire. And so like Sam and Dean like take her, and they're talking to her, and they're like interrogating her, and they're being really mean to her, and they realize, bless her heart, like she has no idea that she's a vampire. So Wavy Gravy, bless her heart, thinks that she is high. She's like, I can't come down. I
Yeah.
don't know what this guy gave me, but I can't come down. And so Sam's like, oh my God, like this poor girl. And Dean's like, well, we have to kill her because
Mhm.
she's a vampire. She's like killed 3 people. So he like walks in, kills her, like no big deal. Of course, Sam flinches, which is probably the jumpiness that people on Tumblr who are being dumb were talking about. Um, the angry
Don't
signs
get
that
do not get me started on that.
that'll
Do
be
not get me started on it.
definitely something we do on a chatty episode. So
Oh god, yeah. I
after,
think I think I'm almost certain I have that on the
good,
wheel. So
good. So poor Wavy Gravy, her demise is come and gone. She also showed up on Buffy. She was an actress on Buffy as like,
she's Harmony. Yes.
yeah, she's Harmony. And
She.
like an
I
equal
would.
kind of
I
like
would say
bimbo-y, like vampire,
yes.
very
I was
spacey.
gonna say. I think they kind of said just play Harmony. To be honest,
Mhm.
like she
Ew.
was, it was very Harmony core.
And then it was very sad because they just, brutally, brutally killed her. So then, I don't remember what like the order of things, but essentially, like Gordon is working this case as well with his
Mhm.
very like righteous, like Jesus-y buddy. And so
The one from
they're,
Bad Day at Black Rock, right?
yep, Bad Day of Black
Yeah.
Rock, the guy with all the Jesus faces.
What a complete and utter tonal difference between those two episodes. It's
It's
quite funny
I
to think about.
literally so crazy. And so like they're starting to get information, and they're following, like they're trying to find this nest, and what they realize is there's this man who is like, well, he's a vampire, but he is dosing little blonde like women, and then unknowingly like basically roofing them with vampire blood, and then taking them back to his nest because he's trying to like rebuild his nest, and he's like deeply
Mhm.
saddened because like Gordon has killed, or hunters in general have killed like his entire family and his daughters, and he's trying to make new daughters. And so he eventually captures Gordon and turns Gordon because Gordon stupidly is like heckling him, even though he's like shackled. And so instead of killing him, the vampire is like, okay, well, fuck you. I'll turn you into the thing you ate the most. So when he is a vampire, he wakes up and he's starving. And Gordon escapes and kills the other two like victims of this vampire. It's like really horrific. He like tears their heads off, these poor girls. And he is like he goes back to his like self-righteous friend and he's like, "Hey, I'm a vampire now. I can take Sam Winchester down," because he's just hell bent on Sam Winchester being the
Mhm.
Antichrist. And he's like, "I'm faster. I'm like stronger. I can do it. And then you can kill me afterwards." And his friend is like, "No, I have to kill you now." And so Gordon kills his friend. And then he comes after Sam and Dean. I think he sets a trap or something and he separates Sam and Dean. And then the
Mhm.
boys immediately panic and they're like, "No, we can't be apart." And so he traps Dean with like a victim who he's actually turned into a vampire unknowing, like they did not realize this. And then Gordon is with Sam. And so they have a big fight and Sam is able to kill Gordon. And Gordon's going on in this monologue of, "This is the last good thing I can do for humanity is take you out." And Sam's like, "Or I'll just behead you with barbed wire." And so then that ends and that happens. And I think the
Mhm.
boys' story at some point is like Sam and Dean have a conversation like, "I wish you would just be my brother," or whatever. So at the
Yes.
end here, Dean like stops kind of being an like trying to pretend that he's not scared and trying to pretend to be someone else to
Mhm.
cover his fear. And he's like, "Hey brother, let's work on the car together." And he's like, "This
Yeah.
is a gesture of let me like be, your brother." And it's,
Mhm.
the end, I guess. So I probably left some stuff out. It was a lot because I also left out Bella at one point, but Bella wasn't that like important. She
No.
like she sends Gordon at them, but then eventually she calls Sam and Dean and she's like, "Well, I feel bad, so like let me tell you what I found out from like talking to spirits
Yeah,
where Gordon is," and tries to make it up to
yeah,
them.
she gives them their location and gives
Yeah.
them a warning about the fact that he's something's happened to him, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, my first note is that Sam Winchester is the Antichrist line, which number one, sure thing, man. But then number two, I
He's a
suddenly
literal
remembered.
candy cane.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. It's the literal candy cane origin post. I went to go and see how many times I reblogged that, like back in the day. I reblogged that 10 times.
It's the best. Sometimes you just have to have it on a regular loop, like so
Yeah.
everyone
No,
remembers he's a
it
candy
literally
cane.
was an always reblog. I think I need to reblog it again just to bring it back into circulation. But I mean, I'm sure that will go in the notes.
Hell yeah. I love that. I love that post. But Bella has balls of steel, man. Like she has a gun to her head from like I'm gonna say it, the most intimidating supernatural character maybe ever, Gordon. And she doesn't blink, dude. And also this just to me, I was just like the supernatural universe used to be so dynamic because we had characters like
Hmm.
Gordon and Bella, and it's just so cool. It was just used to be so much there used to be so much going on.
Yeah, it's interesting because they add more characters. Like it becomes
Mhm.
more of an ensemble as time goes on, but it somehow feels less
Because they're all a
dynamic.
monolith, like they're all the same.
Yeah,
And so it's just like,
yeah,
yeah, you can have like multiple people in Blood on your screen, but it doesn't make it more dynamic. And that's what was so cool about earlier seasons.
yeah, and yeah. Um, I did I did make a comment about the fact that he has the mojo bag, and it's just like, oh, okay, so another case of like every black hunter practices hoodoo.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
thought
like
too. We
again,
just
it's
had this
like
conversation.
yeah, it's like including hoodoo in the world
Mm.
isn't like that's a kind of a good idea in order to give it texture and to if it was like some black hunters practice hoodoo because that would be fine, but every single black hunter practicing it, it's just like, okay, so we're just racially stereotyping. Like, you
Yeah,
know
and
what I
that's
mean?
what was
Like
wild to me.
there's a
They didn't
difference.
they didn't do it either until like season 3. Like Gordon didn't have a mojo bag until season 3 when we also
Yeah.
started with Tamara, who also
Yes.
had one. She's like, well, I know this hoodoo witch. And it's like, okay, what are we doing, Supernatural season 3? Y'all are being weird.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just yeah.
We don't
It's
like
it,
it.
as
We
I
don't
said,
like it.
it's like they you can include that in a way that is
Hmm.
actually like interesting and
Yeah.
using a thing to to tell you about a character as
Yeah.
opposed to just like this is the signifier that this guy is a black hunter. Like
And it's like,
it's
we can
literally
see
just
him.
it's so lazy. It's so fucking
I
lazy.
know. Also, okay, this hurt my feelings. Dean is kind of like calling this poor girl stupid for taking vampire blood as if any civilians are supposed to know vampires are even something to watch out for. Like, that's really
Yeah.
fucked up. Like, why are you being mean to her? She is clearly suffering and she doesn't even know what she's done.
No, exactly. I mean, yeah,
Heartless.
like why would you know that somebody who's giving you a drug that's red and thick, like why would you think, oh, that must be vampire? I mean,
Yeah, it's
sure.
deranged of him to treat her like that. Like, it's so
Yeah.
mean. At least kind of be like, hey, this is why we tell, cover your drink. But it's still victim blaming, but
Yeah, exactly.
especially
Exactly.
victim blame in a way where it's like, why didn't you think of vampires? Because she's not supposed to know about them.
Exactly. Yeah,
God.
I did also think that the just the whole scene was good though.
Mhm.
Other than that,
I wish that they could have like at least like put her to sleep or something before ripping her head off. Like she was so terrified.
yeah,
They
like
didn't
give her
have
another
to
shot of dead
do
man's
that.
blood.
Yes, they didn't have to do it like that. But Dean was just like, bloop. But a lot of it
Yeah,
has to do with him being reckless in this episode, which is part of like the
but
conflict.
I mean, we can talk about that then in comparison to how the show framed that versus how the show frames Sam at the end.
Literally, okay. So like, well, when Sam kills, oh, what's his name? Jake. Is it Jake? Jake.
Jake, yeah, it's the same, exact same thing.
They're like, ooh, spooky, like Scoopy, like I don't know, evil man. But then it's
Yep.
like when Dean is just like, I'm gonna decapitate someone. We're like, oh, he's just blowing off steam. Like
Sorry, can
what?
you? Yeah.
And I
Okay.
think like to me, the ending where Sam is like literally pulling two sides of barbed wire with blankets
Mm-hmm.
like over the spurs or whatever to
Mm-hmm.
kill him and like making it seem like really dark compared to like Dean being dismissive and like dehumanizing to this poor girl who is a victim is a very false equivalence that people like to
Yes.
draw and that clearly the narrative is trying
So,
to set up.
well, what I was going to say is there's like two things going on here. One
Mhm.
is that we are shown, as you said, like we're shown the act that of Sam killing Gordon on screen, so
Mhm.
that it's drawing attention to the violence of it,
Mhm.
versus Dean, where we don't see him actually carry out the act. We
Mm-mm.
just hear
We
him do
hear it
it,
and we
right?
see Sam's
So
reaction
it's
to it.
yes, but it's like deflecting from the immediate violence of it, so it's not drawing attention to it in the same way. And then, of course, like, but then there's also the other factor to that, which is something that we've already talked about,
Mm-hmm.
which is the white girl gets killed off screen, the
Mm.
black man gets killed in a extremely brutal, visceral, and graphic death on screen.
Yeah,
And
all
it's
of the girls
partly
get
because,
killed off screen. And now that I think about
yeah,
it,
and it's partly because the show is trying to draw specific attention to the violence because it's got this Dean slant, but it's also a pattern, as we've already discussed,
true.
in Supernatural towards
Oh,
black men in general.
awful,
Yeah.
awful. Why do you keep being on
So
episodes where we talk about that? That was the
I
last
know
episode you were on.
I literally wrote that down. I was like, why do I keep getting this?
Because we
But
know
yeah,
that
like
you will have such good commentary.
but yeah, once again, it's like the show is judging Sam for like Dean like behavior, and it's like
Right.
one is explicitly presented as like pitiable. Like we are supposed to be feeling sorry for Dean
Hmm.
because he's acting reckless because he's going to go to hell, and
It's just like when we
he's
met Gordon and he did the chainsaw thing. Like this is the
yeah.
same thing. Same pattern.
Whereas Sam, it's being presented as sinister. Like
Yes,
it's
just
so
like with
fucking
Jake, who both
yeah,
of these men tried to kill Sam. In fact, Jake did kill
yeah,
Sam. And Gordon is very explicitly like, I'm going to kill you. And so I feel like framing his like response, killing that person to be sure to like save himself or whatever, or like having feelings about that is again very unfair because it's like, well, of course,
yeah,
Dean's not going to care that Wavy Gravy just got killed. But like, it's personal to Sam. Like,
yeah,
Gordon has been hunting him for what, like 2 seasons now?
yeah. But yeah, the Dean slant of it is so transparent. It just fucking it pisses me off so
I
bad. Like
know.
it feels like they don't even try and disguise it. You
Well,
know,
yeah, and I
like
think it's internalized,
and
right? They
this,
like don't want to show Dean in
yeah,
this way, but they are willing to show Sam this way. They don't even think about
yeah.
it in those terms.
But this is why it pisses me off that the fans can't pick up on this because
Hmm.
it to me it's so blatantly obvious that like I don't ever remember falling for this stuff when I watched the show the first time because I was like okay like it's just it doesn't have the impact to me that the show is wanting it to have because
Yeah.
it just it's so transparent what they're
Hmm.
doing. It
Hmm.
sticks out like a sore thumb that
Yeah.
you can have literally the same act happening in the same episode, but the way the two acts are framed is completely different.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
but
and I love Sarah Gamble. We love her writing Sam, but it is true
yeah,
that like this is a persistent issue throughout
yeah,
the series and it's only going to get worse from here.
yay.
Yay. Also so crazy that Gordon is genuinely scarier than all the real monsters on the show. Like he's so frightening.
I mean, it's partly just because Sterling K. Brown is such a good fucking actor.
I
Like,
know. I'm
ugh.
obsessed with him. I love him so
I
much.
mean, it's almost like he has an Oscar or something.
I know. I'm so happy that
Can
he's gotten
can
his
you can
flowers.
you fucking believe that Supernatural had an Oscar like had someone who's gone on to win an Oscar on it?
I know, like he's it. I don't think anybody else on the show has had the accolades like
I
in
cannot imagine so.
mainstream.
No,
Yeah. I mean
I mean
maybe Bella
I'm
because
sure.
she was on like The
Mm,
Walking Dead and she got her own spinoff. Like that's cool. Like she's like a major character in
well,
the Walking Dead
and then
series.
I guess Jeffrey
Jeffrey
Dean
Dean
Morgan as
Morgan.
well.
He's still hot as hell, dude. So my Roku like screensaver is on and
Hmm.
he floats by on an ad. Like he literally does. And it's like a reality show, I guess, that
Hmm.
he hosts. And I'm like, hello?
Okay.
Like, what are you doing? It's like a Survivor-esque like travel show that he hosts.
Okay.
Have you heard of
Fair
this?
enough.
It's crazy.
No.
Next time it floats by, I'll read the title because I couldn't believe it. I was like, is that is that Papa Winchester? What are we doing? But I did want to
Yeah.
point out that the way the vampire like keeps his like quote unquote daughters shackled is very like trafficky to me. Like it's really fucked up.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
hated it. And I don't
Yeah.
know. I just
Um.
I thought like I really want to get into like Gordon's like hypocrisy and
Mhm.
like all the vampires have backstories and now Gordon is also a vampire and he has a backstory, but he like really doesn't seem to care. He's like gonna make an exception of
This.
him to himself, but he's
Oh
also gonna
yeah.
ask to be killed and like it's just very
I mean,
fucked up to me.
this episode I think is quite a good like thesis episode on Supernatural's view of the kind of like us versus them, hunter versus
Mm.
monster dichotomy. We literally have the line of the you're still a hunter, no, I'm a monster. Like
Hmm.
it's literally presented as this like black and white dichotomy of
Hmm.
like you're either a hunter or you're a monster.
Right, which is insane.
Yeah. And I also did think about when we had the vampire kind of giving his backstory and saying
Hmm.
about, you murdered basically my family, you murdered my daughter,
Hmm.
you know. Um
But what's
then
wild is Gordon
I
also murdered his own family, which I is part of his lore. He's
well,
just a crazy
yes.
person. All right, but
But
that oof.
but it did actually immediately make me think of, and again, I can give us a link to this, because I've got a clip
Yeah.
of it. That a relatively recent con where they were asked about like what their favorite monsters are in the season,
Yeah.
and Jensen gave this answer. He was like, "Oh, I really like vampires," and he started off and he was like, "Because they're more human, and they have like families and they like community and help each other." And I was like, "Oh wow, a surprisingly good answer from Jensen." And then he like swerved hard right into, yeah, and also like, so it's just like good old fashioned good versus evil, mano, and I was like, "Oh, beautiful,
Hello?
perfect." Like the thing is, right, sometimes
Character
I'm
bleed.
like, sometimes I'm like, you know what, Jensen understands this show perfectly. I just wish he didn't.
That's so crazy.
Because
What?
like the thing is, the show is fucking saying that in this episode. It's literally
Yeah.
saying, like, okay, vampires are people with feelings and emotions and families and community and connections and daughters,
Hmm.
people they consider their
And
daughters, even if it's a,
loyalty and pain
yeah,
and grief and vengeance.
but also it is actually morally correct to put them down.
It's fucking
That,
crazy. Yeah.
because it does actually reinforce the dichotomy of, if you're not a human, you're a monster. Like, if you're not a hunter,
Yeah.
you're a monster. Like, the
Yeah.
episode itself does that. So it's just, it's frustrating, and it's doubly frustrating because I feel like we built all of this nuance in season two,
Hmm.
and it feels like here we're kind of like alluding to it, but then we're swerving hard into, actually, that nuance doesn't matter. What matters
Yeah.
is this like good versus evil, us versus them, hunter versus monster dichotomy. And
Well, I
to me it feels like this is where the show starts to like lose
kind of muddy
that
its own
nuance.
waters.
Yeah.
I think I'm so with you. And I wrote a note kind of like that where it's like the next thing I said was Sam is done giving Gordon the benefit of the doubt, which like for some reason Dean is like really confused about. But
Well, I
then
have stuff to say about that again as
but
well. Yeah.
what he doesn't know, he's like, yeah, I'm ready to put him down even though he's a human. But what he doesn't know and
Mm.
what we do because we've seen this episode before is that the show is going to give him an out. So he doesn't have to kill a person. He's going to have Gordon become a vampire. So when he
Yes.
does end up having to kill this human who's been after him as a human, hunting him as a human this whole time, he's still not killing a human. He's killing a
Mm.
monster. And I thought that
Yes.
was interesting as just like a narrative like observation that they're
Yeah.
keeping Sam's hands clean to a degree while still being able to like imply darkness within him.
Yes.
And I also wanted to say one more nuance that I've always loved about Gordon is that Gordon has
Mm.
consistently been a mirror to Dean. So Gordon then turning into the very thing he hates in
Mm-hmm.
the all past episodes is very fucking incredible to me. Like I think I
Yes.
really love the way Gordon's hypocrisy over like folds over itself so many times that I can't keep straight the dichotomy because there's too many things he's contradicting and that
Mm-hmm.
his end is to just to end in this way after
Yeah.
marrying Dean says something at least to me about what the show wants
Yeah.
to say about Dean.
Yeah, the other line that I really wanted to bring up in terms of like the us versus them like dichotomy,
Hmm.
and also just like a line that made me go, ugh, that
Oof.
ugh, I do not like that line, is Gordon's line about the even though you murder and spread your filthy disease on pure base instinct, you've got less humanity than a sewer rat.
Damn.
Which,
What?
particularly when we're dealing with like a bloodborne disease, like it just inherently has implications that I don't know what
Uh-huh.
the show thought about. Um,
Yeah, I mean
as ever,
it's very like
and it's also,
AIDS coded. Like it's
yes,
very,
exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah,
hmm
and it's also like it's a fucking crazy line to give to a black, like one of the few black characters as
Hmm.
well, especially like you've got less humanity, like the stuff that they do with Gordon in terms of him kind of like being, he essentially is kind of like raising a lynch mob against Sam and
Yep.
like the bigotry and etc. And it's like there is stuff there that is interesting in terms of the way that they're doing that specifically with a black character, but then
Mhm.
there's also stuff where it's like I don't know how much they thought about this. And
Yeah, I mean, he's only black when it's convenient for them, when they want him to have a mojo
yeah,
bag. Like
yeah, exactly.
it's very, I don't see color until they do for for some
Yeah.
like token reason. I will say what you're touching on reminds me of True Blood and how True Blood
Mm,
was able with the vampire story to root vampirism and like the prejudices people had with vampirism
yes.
in actual prejudice in our like historically in our country, which made way more
Yeah.
sense. So when you had people who were being kind of like dipshits about it, they were like kind of redneck, like
Hmm.
racist people who don't like people who are othered. And so it made
Yeah.
a lot of sense.
I mean,
Um,
the thing is, we are not we are not supposed to be on Gordon's side here. So
no.
him saying that we as an audience are not supposed to be like, yeah, he's right,
Hmm.
necessarily in terms of the exact wording that he says.
Hmm.
But Dean does also earlier in the episode call it like a virus, a disease, etc. So and then as I said, like the episode reinforces the idea that murdering these people is correct. So
Right.
even though they're putting these words into the mouth of a character that we're inherently supposed to distrust,
Hmm.
the narrative is still reinforcing those words as being potentially something that we should actually
Yeah.
take as real. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like they're trying to have their cake and eat it with it, I think.
Hmm.
They're trying to say, yeah, actually they are like disgusting diseased creatures who need to be put down. But if we have a character who we're supposed to like not like say it, then we're like in the clear from having said that out loud. Does
Right.
that make sense?
Hmm. Yeah.
Like it feels like covering their backs almost.
Yeah, and I think there's just so much going on tonally and thematically in this episode because they're bringing Gordon's story to an end while they're also trying to push forward like the continual myth arc of the season and the
Mm-hmm.
boy like there's a lot going on. And so then with Gordon, I think I've never seen someone's arc be so like I don't want to say convoluted. It's not a bad thing. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
them just be such a evil, dark presence that like everything they stood for, they have contradicted each line by the end. You know what I mean? Like he has
Sure.
gone back on everything in the end, even to like say I deserve to die after I kill Sam Winchester, I will kill myself. And he killed his friend in the process so that he could get to that point. Like, what about the
Mm.
moral implications of that? Like, and so then is it for the greater good? It's just, it's crazy. It's just, he's
he's
crazy.
he's a fantastically interesting character,
Yes.
and I mean, I don't know if you've read any of or like listened to Sterling K. Brown talk about Gordon.
No.
He genuinely really loved playing this character, and he put so much into it, which genuinely makes me so happy. Like thinking about the fact that like an
No.
actor of his caliber, like I
What a
know he didn't
gift.
have, like I get that he didn't have the Oscar yet when he was on the show, and you know he wasn't this meteoric figure at that point,
Yeah.
but it's still like I love the fact that he still talks about the show.
Oh, I
He still
didn't
talks
realize
about
that.
Gordon.
That
Yeah, he
makes me
put
so
so
happy.
much. He genuinely put so much thought into the portrayal. And also, by the way, he always brings up Jared. One of another of Jared's like harem of men who are in love with
Oh,
him.
hey.
There's a brilliant little interview where it's him and Milo.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
Milo Ventimiglia have that
yes,
crossover from Gilmore Girls and it not It Ends With Us. That's a movie. This Is Us.
Yes, yes. So
Mhm.
there was I think it was a podcast or something that they were both on for that,
Oh,
and it just like Sterling and Milo both just start talking about how much they love Jared, and it's so cute.
I love that so much. I need to
Yeah.
find that clip because that is gonna make my
I'll
heart
send
grow
it to
three
you.
sizes.
I've definitely got it.
Okay, great.
I mean, I particularly love Jared and Milo's like
Oh, so cute.
dino. They're adorable. Also because I love Milo because he played Peter
Peter
Petrelli in Heroes,
Petrelli.
and
And
Peter
he's
is
so
such a
beautiful. He's
he's
beautiful.
such a yeah he is, but he's like Peter is such a Sam type character,
Oh
so
yeah, you've
it
mentioned
makes
that
me
before.
it it makes me really happy that they
Mhm.
both like ended up playing like very similar kind of
That's so
types
sweet.
of yeah. Anyway, it's cute. I like it. Sorry, that was very off topic, but I
That's
just
okay.
yeah.
Everything is relevant somehow. Let's talk about the
um,
drop the attitude, Dean. Stop turning everything into a punchline. That's another get his ass moment.
when does that come in the episode? Is that
So,
like
I said I was getting whiplash from Dean's wishy-washy weirdness about does he or does he not want to deal with the fact that he's dying? Like,
okay? Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you're scared and I know it because I know you, he says. And, Dean's acting like Sam wouldn't be able to tell. He's getting that smug face on. He's like, "Oh, really? You can tell?" And it's like, "Yes, dipshit.
Hmm.
Who knows you better than Sam? Like, what are you talking about?" And that's when Sam is like, because I
Oh
followed
yes.
you around my entire life. I've been looking up to you since I was 4. So, yeah, I know you better than anyone else in the world. This is how you act when you're terrified. And I need you to drop
Yeah.
this show and be my brother. And that's what sets up the ending. And I really like that he's standing up for himself. Each episode,
he
like Dean
does.
comes at him and he's like, actually, go
Oh
fuck yourself.
yeah. I miss when Sam was capable of standing up for himself before he
Me
gets
too.
so beat down and squished into like what Dean wants him to be.
Yeah, you can almost see the box that Dean shoves him in, like
Like
floating around him as he walks through the scenes.
exactly. Oh, that's the perfect way to
It's
describe it.
so
Yeah.
sad.
Like yeah. The thing is like I've said this before. Like as much as the show degrades over time, and as much as it's like painful to watch that, it, it's one of those things where I almost don't resent it entirely because it is like such a weirdly and horribly realistic portrayal of what being
Yes.
in a long-term abusive relationship does to a person,
I think,
and
yes.
being able to see that transformation. And I think it's also partly because Jared is so good and consistent and thinks about it that it
Yes.
ends up feeling so like you
Authentic.
actually can you can yeah you can authentically see this kind of transformation happening over time. It doesn't just like suddenly happen,
Right.
it's like it's a thing that happens over time. But yeah, I did on a less serious note. I did number one. I wrote multiple whas after like writing down some of those lines, and then I did also write wet baby cow eyes.
Yeah, well, and I think it's really a good point to make. Like, if you're not going to let me save you, then can you at least be yourself until you die? Like, who is this
Yeah,
person you're making me hang out with? And I think that was the only way to get through to Dean, where Dean was like, I guess that's fair. Like, I'm not letting him try to help me. So maybe I should at least spend the time I have with him, like being Dean.
yes. I mean, that was the other thing was that Dean does actually like in that scene, and then obviously in the final scene,
Yeah.
he does actually listen to Sam when he says that,
Hmm.
and make some effort to like meet Sam at what at what he's
Yeah,
asking
he
for.
changes his actions, which is so
Yeah,
rare. So rare for
yeah.
Dean.
And it's like remember when that would happen sometimes. There's still an element to which like it's only because Dean has decided that like it's only because Dean has allowed it that it can happen, right?
Yeah.
But at least he was allowing it back then.
Yeah.
Um, when they talk to the vampire after they find out that he that Gordon's been there and he's killed the other members of the nest, and the vampire has two lines which I quite enjoy because I like when this show is like Hall of Mirrors, which it does very frequently, where it's like here is a extreme like we are shoving it in your face that this character is like a mirror of one of the boys, but this guy I think is like a rare double mirror because he has the line of "I'm staring down eternity alone," which is obviously like mirroring what Sam's going through. But then we also have the like when you don't give a damn, it's like you're already dead, you're dead already, which is obviously like
Mm-hmm.
then mirroring Dean. So
Mm-hmm.
I quite like the fact that they used him as like this little like dual mirror to both of them at the same time.
Yes. I'm glad you
Thought that
brought
was
that up
quite well
because I
done.
accidentally skipped my note about that. Yes, it's so they do good parallels. Sarah does specifically really good
Yes,
parallels without it being
I
heavy-handed and stupid. Like
yeah,
it's
exactly.
nuanced.
I actually, so I think that you could critique the way in which Supernatural it. I've seen people say this before that like Supernatural sometimes feels like Sam and Dean are the only real people in the world, and that everyone else that exists in the show exists as like mirrors and foils to them.
Hmm.
And I honestly don't have an issue with that. I actually
Yeah.
think that that's one of the things that makes the show really interesting.
Yeah.
And also, to be honest, if they had really understood that, that is a way in which they could have made the whole like Chuck is God and God is the writer of the universe thing actually kind of interesting.
Yeah. He's
Like
like, I've been
because
throwing these side characters around you this whole
yeah,
time on purpose.
like haven't you noticed that you're like the only two real people in the
But that
entire
would
world and
take
everyone else
like
is just
symmetry and like
yeah, yeah.
synastry and a plan and like an understanding of
Yeah,
writing, and
exactly.
we don't get
Yeah.
that. We don't get that here.
No, no, we absolutely don't.
But
Yeah.
I was gonna say
So,
like there's a moment when like okay, so they're going after Gordon, and there's
mhm.
a moment when the like door goes down and separates the boys, and it goes
Yes.
dark, and all you hear is an evil Gordon laugh. It is incredible. Like I wrote,
Oh
what a
yeah.
fucking arc this character is having. Like it is just everything about Gordon and his arc and like his delivery is fabulous. And that laugh was so scary.
Oh, so good. Yeah, and again, I mean, this, and I'm sure I'll talk more about it, like when we do the writing, directing, rating at the
Hmm.
end. This is where having a good director immediately elevates the episode. Like, I know that I talk
Hmm.
about how good Kim Anders is every time I'm on,
He
but it's
nails
because
it.
Kim Anders is so fucking good.
It was
Like
so like the sound
the
mixing.
transform.
It felt like it was coming from within. Like I felt it in my chest.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
ooh.
But like the transformation, like Gordon's transformation scene, also that was so well done. Like I loved the way that was done. Like the way that they did the kind of like the way the lights like trailed off, like kind of lingered and trailed, so you got that kind of like yeah effect where the light stays and lingers, and then it's like really
Mhm.
glaring and bright, and the like really harsh sounds, and
It was so good.
I and I love the bit where he's like where he like smiles into his like reflection in the car window,
Hmm.
like that again. It's kind of a classic thing to show like a vampire look in a mirror and they see their teeth or whatever. But like,
Hmm.
something about the way that was done in particular, where it wasn't like a mirror, it was like the car window, so you were kind of like seeing a reflection, but then it was also like see through. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
something really effective to that. And also they kept doing in this scene that we were just talking about, where then Sam and Dean are separated and Sam's trapped in there with Gordon. They kept doing these like very close up shots of Gordon's mouth when he was
Mm.
speaking. And
Hmm.
again, I just thought those were so effective, where we couldn't see any other part of his face. It was just the mouth. I don't know what it was about it, but something about that was really
It's
effective
just
to
like
me.
emphasizing the fact that he truly is what he hates now. We're seeing his fangs, and I don't know. The choices made were great. I'm on board with everything you're saying. I agree. Fabulous, fabulously directed.
Yeah.
And we got to talk about the big line. Sam is talking to Gordon as Gordon's kind of moving through the
Mm-hmm.
darkness, and he says, "Don't talk about it like you don't have a choice, Gordon." And I'm like, "That's our man. That's our man. It's a
Yeah.
choice." And I love, we just love him for that. But like, there's something to be said that this is not something that Sam just comes up with in season 4. He has consistently always believed
Yep.
unwaveringly that it is not what you are, it's what you do. It's your choice. And
Mm-hmm.
he is like, look, Gordon, I know in this moment you want to kill me. You're acting like it's destiny. It is a choice you're gonna make. and you can choose not to. And I just love that
Yeah.
it's he's already decided like I have to put Gordon down, and now he's a vampire, but he still says that to Gordon. You can choose not
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, and then kind of paired with that, I thought that the couple of lines from Gordon of the like, "You're not human, Sam," and then the "I know what it's like to walk around with something evil inside of you,"
He's like,
is
I can relate now. Okay.
yeah, but like no, it's really interesting to me in terms of this is a really good example of where we're being presented with a third character perspective on Sam,
Hmm.
where that third character is looking at Sam as being ontologically monstrous. Um,
Which I still
that
don't understand why he thinks that. Is it the psychic abilities or that he was chosen
well,
by the demon?
yeah,
Okay.
I think it's because he was a special child. Yeah.
So I'm like, what evidence does he have that he believes so deeply that Sam Winchester is not a literal candy cane?
But yeah, it's like yeah, so it's like the we're being presented with this third character perspective, so something that's outside of Sam and outside of Dean, that's presenting Sam as this having this ontological monstrosity. But this again is where I get so frustrated with the audience, because it's like that
Yeah.
you as the audience do not have to take a third character perspective on a character as literal truth, especially not when again we're supposedly being presented as with Gordon as being a character who is not to be trusted, right?
Exactly.
So why do so many people buy into this shit? Like, I have seen countless people who will use moments like this, like Gordon saying something like that, as like proof that Sam is ontologically evil or ontologically monstrous, and it's just like, no, why do we, well, not we obviously, but like why does the audience like literally um prioritize a third party perspective over Sam's own internal perspective of himself?
It's
Like,
they don't understand like an unreliable narrator. I don't understand. I think it's
no,
like
well, I
because
mean,
what
they
they're
really don't, because
told,
Dean is the fucking ultimate unreliable
right. But
narrator, and
if they
they
only
believe
believe
everything he says.
they believe what they're told rather than what they are shown more so, and that's the issue is
Yeah.
that Sam is very quiet. Like as he gets through the series he's very
Yes.
quiet, and so a lot more of what is shown is the truth of Sam, but what is said and told is by unreliable narrators. And I think
Exactly.
a lot of audiences are just not sophisticated enough to not just be like, oh well, this was said to me and so this, and media
Yeah.
literacy is at an all-time low, so it's not getting
It's
better.
oh, I know. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And it's just yeah. But I mean yeah. But it's a line that I like in terms of
Hmm.
the way that this episode is written. I just
Yeah.
dislike the way that then fandom
Yeah, the
takes it
way
so
fandom
uncritically.
engages is always like weird. But no, this is a
Yeah.
great written episode. So after Sam kills Gordon, which we've discussed, and by the
Hmm.
way, thank goodness there were worker blankets nearby so he didn't barb wire his own hands.
Yeah.
Um,
Although let's face it, your hands would still be fucked
totally,
up.
totally. But he looks, I think it's important to observe and point out that he looks so tired and sad after he had to do that.
Yes,
It's not
that's what I
like
was gonna
Dean
say.
where like he's dismissive. He takes Wavy Gravy's head and shrugs. It's not the chainsaw where he has blood pouring off his face and he just deadpan. Like Sam genuinely looks disturbed that he had to do that. And I think we can
Yeah.
also connect him saying to Gordon, "You have a choice," and feeling from that face that he makes after he has to do it that it was something what he was forced to do because it was kill or be killed. And he
Yeah.
really did try to give Gordon one more chance, even though he knew he wasn't going to take it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
Dean, like,
exactly.
you charged a super vamped out Gordon with no weapon. And I'm like, yeah, he did. He did what he had to do. Like, what was the alternative?
Yeah.
Relax.
I was trying to see if there was a script for this episode. Sorry, I'm always interested when there's stuff like that as to whether or not
Mm.
it's,
If
whether or
he's
not we can see
supposed to look sad or if that's a Jared choice.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm always interested in that kind of stuff because there's so many times where we get a script and then we find out that that was not in the script, and it's like, fascinating
Way to go,
acting choice.
Jared.
Thank you.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, that to me is what makes it even more like, the fact that we then have to deal with this like Dean slant that's being put onto it, where we are being led as an audience. And so, unlike what I just said about the Gordon stuff, where I think that we as an audience are not supposed to take what Gordon is saying at face value.
Heck, he's
But
contradicted
people are,
himself like 200
yeah,
times in just this one
but
episode.
people are doing it anyway.
Anyways, yeah.
In this case, I think we are supposed to take at face value the framing of what Sam just did as sinister, but then we have Sam's literal reaction in contradiction to that.
Yeah.
And this is where like the narrative framing of Supernatural is so frustrating, because you can have a literal like thing on screen that demonstrates to you something that actually contradicts that narrative that's being pushed not just by the characters but by the show itself.
Right.
And yet the show is still so determined to like slant in that direction, and it's just like,
Yeah. It's like it doesn't trust the audience, but then it trusts them too much. And so like I don't know. It's hard to explain because, and maybe it is just Jared, and it's one of those things where it's like a guy who just said to the man in front of him, "You have a choice," who then has to kill this man, would look sad afterwards. And it could be a Jared choice, you know? But no, I'm with you about how frustrating the fandom can be about this. So
yeah, but it's not just the fandom; it is the show as well. That's what, yeah.
It just isn't as bad yet, but it will
No.
get there. We finished the episode with a beer and a very bad maroon polo shirt that Sam was wearing. I hate him in a polo shirt. I'm just like, get it, like, we don't need to do that. Take that off.
Again, did not even
I just
register to me.
didn't like it for some reason. But then like Dean is in a beautiful plaid. And so I'm like, this is even worse. Dean has a beautiful shirt on and Sam does not.
Okay, now you're really asking too much of me. If you're expecting me to notice what Dean's wearing, then
it was just in contrast. So beautiful. So here's my question. You're telling me that Sam doesn't know how to work on the Impala after it being the house he grew up in his entire life? Like, he never had to help Dean like change a tire. I don't know. I get that like they're saying like, oh, Dean doesn't allow it. This is a gesture. He's conceding to Sam. He said, I'm gonna be your big brother because you asked me to be. And so, but I just thought it was kind of wild that Sam wouldn't know.
My personal interpretation of moments like this is often that Sam plays the little brother. He plays the Sammy for Dean when he knows that that's something that Dean needs. So my personal interpretation is that in this moment he's like, right, Dean is like offering me an olive branch in a way that he knows how, and my like way of returning that is to kind of give him the like little brother that he needs. So I'm gonna kind of be there and be
all
like,
into that role.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
that makes
I
sense.
think there is a little bit of that going on. I did also the line where he said about you barely let me drive this thing, and I was like, R.I.P. season 1, where he drove like literally half of
at
the
least
time.
half the time, yeah. Yeah, and I think you're right. I didn't think about it like that. Sam would be like kind of like the sensitive, like intuitive kind of person that's like, this is Dean's gesture towards me, so this is mine back. Like, let's have this moment where I do follow the script.
Yeah, but that's another one of those things where it's like, that's something that we as Sam fans infer because we have an understanding of Sam as a character, but it's not. It's one of those things where the show never really.
It's not explicitly like.
Yeah, and there's so many things like that where they just leave aspects of Sam unexplored.
Because I'm like, are you telling me he never had to like lift the hood of his car when he was at college for 4 years alone? Like, he didn't have to help Jess with her car, or like maybe they worked in her car. Like, I just think it's kind of funny, but like I get it. It's supposed to be a sweet moment. So
yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts before we rate this one?
I mean, I guess my final thoughts are that it's a it's a great episode.
Yeah.
It's really tense.
That was my last note,
Um,
was good episode.
yeah. Uh, yeah. And then it also that it has some supernatural typical racism that really goes so
Supernatural
unaddressed.
racism. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
But overall, I think it is a fantastically written and directed episode, and as ever, yeah, it's just a good combo of people. But that's
I
more for
agree.
rating, I guess.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
it's good.
It's good. Okay, so we're going to do our wardrobe descriptor for this one. Horrendous, adorable, genuinely good, or terrible, but great. Vic, what did you think?
I gave it adorable because I didn't notice anything in particular,
There.
which is kind of how I rate things.
Yeah. I gave it genuinely good. I think they were fine. Like it wasn't good or bad. There was only one shirt I didn't like that much, and it wasn't that big a deal.
See this, if it's like that, I just give it an adorable because I feel
Yeah.
like genuinely good needs to be saved for something that is notable to
I
me.
need to
But
rework this because we need to add like a
yeah,
fifth one in that like we'll talk
yeah,
about it. Maybe we'll change it
I think
before.
we either need something that's more middle ground
Yeah.
or we need something that's better than genuinely good.
Yeah. Or we
Because
need to
like
add in like a little slutty or something.
yeah, I think we definitely need that.
Okay, maybe okay, so before the Christmas episode we'll like brainstorm and we'll add a
Oh,
descriptor in there.
I'm so excited
Yeah,
about
me
Christmas.
too. Yeah, but I gave it genuinely good because I just was like, this is they look
That's
good.
fair.
You know, that's not
Eh.
so the Sam fan friendly scale. Let's start
Yeah.
with screen time, Vic. How did you feel about the screen time?
So I gave this a 4
Hmm.
because I would call this a Sam episode on
Yeah,
the whole.
I
But
agree.
what's interesting about this episode is really it's a Gordon episode
Yeah.
because I don't know if I don't know whether or not it just feels like it or this is actually true, but I feel like Gordon has more screen time than Sam and Dean.
I think you're right, which I love.
And I am not complaining about that in
I love it.
any way.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
I gave
But
it I gave it a 4.5 because even when Gordon was on screen, like he's after Sam, so like it was always
sure.
relevant screen time to Sam's directly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good one. It was like he was always on the screen, whether he's being discussed or was there. So I did
Yes.
like that.
He was the subject of the episode.
Yeah, I love when that happens, even if it's
Yeah.
painful. Like this one was, he was being hunted. Um,
Yes.
what about enjoyment as a Sam fan? How much was your Sam enjoyment?
So I again gave this a 4. I really like Sam in this,
Hmm.
but then there's so many things that like as a Sam fan are frustrating in terms
Yes.
of the framing of the narrative and yeah,
Hmm.
so
I
that
agree.
like
I gave it a 4 also.
that brings my score down a little bit. Even though
Yeah.
I really enjoy discussing that, you know what I mean? Like I
Yes.
like writing about that stuff. It's fascinating to write about,
Yeah.
but it's fucking
It
frustrating.
hurts my feelings. Yeah, I agree. You know how I score things when my feelings are hurt. So,
Yes.
and your heart eyes for this episode.
So my heart eyes are a 4.5.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he was great in this episode and not at all sinister. Thank you very much.
Let the record show. Okay. So I gave it a 4 because I just loved it. My heart eyes were large for the choices line, and
Yep.
I just yeah, it was
And
good.
again, a great couple of like bookended conversations with Dean that were really good. So
Yes, exactly.
yes.
So we actually scored it exactly the same, 4.16. And
Mhm.
so it the average for this on the SAM scale is 4.16 according to you and I. So let's look
Makes
at
sense.
the general rating.
Yeah.
We're gonna start, Vic, with writing and directing. What would you score this in just in general?
So I gave this a 4.6. It's a good
It's
episode.
fabulous. Yeah.
Yeah, I knocked points off for the yeah, as I said, like unexplored supernatural typical racism.
Yeah.
um
I love that phrase,
so
supernatural
I
typical.
Yeah, like I think we definitely need to. I think I stole that from someone on Tumblr.
Mhm.
I'm. This is one of my most autistic traits is that I am very much a person that will like hear, weirdly less so like
Absorb.
yeah, talking to people in real life, but like the way people write on like Tumblr and stuff, I will immediately start incorporating that into like
The
my
jargon.
yeah into my
Hmm.
speech, and I'm just like, oh my god. Anyway,
Hmm.
yeah, and as I already said, like the directing of this episode I think was fantastic,
Beautiful.
and is a great example of the fact that, well, I think it was helped along by the fact that so much of the episode is dark because it's about vampires. So
Hmm.
it kind of got round some of those issues of like the brighter color palette making
True,
everything
true.
feel
A lot of
less.
it was at night. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
So I
good.
think that kind of helped. But yeah, you could feel unlike the Magnificent Seven, where I said I wouldn't have even known that was a Kim Manners episode. Like, so
Yeah.
there are some times where I think like bad writing cannot be saved by direction, if you know what I mean.
No, 100%.
Whereas in this case, I think the writing and the directing came together so beautifully,
Yeah.
and
Well,
yeah,
it's two of our favorites.
exactly,
So I
it
gave
was
it a
so good.
4.75 because I agree. I think it's one of the best episodes. It's definitely one I would put on like just to watch. It's so good and every part of it was enjoyable. And I just love
Absolutely.
the way Sarah Gamble writes. Like even if it's not technically a story I'm that interested in, the way
Mm,
that she writes it is always going to be interesting to me.
yes,
All right.
absolutely.
What about acting?
I gave this a five. I just felt like I couldn't not like Oscar winner Sterling K. Brown was on my screen, and he was on my screen for so much of the episode, and he was
I
so
know.
fantastic.
He's incredible.
Um,
We're just so
and
lucky that we
then
had him.
yes, and then I also actually thought that some of the other guest appearances, I really liked Mercedes McNabb's performance at the
Hmm.
beginning, even though she was kind of just doing a little bit of harmony.
I love her.
I
Bless her
thought
heart.
it was.
I actually
I mean,
did
I
make
love
a
harmony,
note and
so
I said, this is exactly what it would be like if this happened to you. Like she was nailing it.
yes,
And it was heartbreaking. It was
yeah,
heartbreaking. She
yeah.
nailed it.
No, I loved her performance, and I also actually thought that the performance by the vampire who was the guy who was turning the women,
Hmm.
I thought that his performance was really good as well.
Yeah.
Like he genuinely made you feel for him.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he was talking about the fact that his family was destroyed and that he was left alone and whatever, and it's like, and he was doing something that was heinous, and as you said, like horrible weird trafficking vibes and whatever,
Right.
but his performance was enough to sell you on this idea that vampires are creatures who are capable of emotion and thought
Hmm.
and loyalty and love and community,
Yeah.
which is a good thing to be able to do. So yeah, I think this scored 4 points for me.
Yeah. I gave it a 4.75. High, super high. Because I do think everybody did a great job. Like it's just super
Yeah.
good. Okay, so in a general way, no Sam goggles. How did you enjoy this episode?
I gave this a 4.5. Yeah,
It's just a good one.
really good.
I gave it
Yeah,
4.75. It's I 4.75 straight down for me. So that was my average. And yours was a
that's fair.
4.7. So overall on the general rating scale, this one is a 4.725, which is higher than the 4.16 on the Sam scale. So again, our Sam goggles dragged it down a little bit. This will be interesting to see.
Yeah,
Um,
I think for me the only real reason that my Sam goggles got dragged down was
mhm.
partly, as I said, the fact that it's actually a Gordon episode more than it is necessarily a
Yeah.
Sam one
Well, and the
in some
narrative
ways,
bias is always going to be
and then the
hurtful.
narrative bias.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt probably a lot from here on out. We'll see.
Yes.
Vic, thank you so much for being on with me
Oh, a pleasure as
after a
always.
work
Sorry that
day.
I feel like I rambled a lot in this episode.
That's what a
There's
podcast
so
is
much to say.
for. Yeah.
That's
No, you
true.
did
That's true.
great. Well, we will
Thank
see you
you.
next time.